crazy. Let me get Doug into this call. And I just thought that was like, whoa. All right. So what's going on, my man?
Hey, brother Ron, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I was just on a soapbox just then sharing with people about some video stuff that came across my feed today. The news were investigating these parents that discovered one particular parent came to a classroom a little early and noticed when she was picking up her son that they was trying to get these patches off. They usually take them off prior to them leaving. And then the news cameras interviewed the kids. Each parent let their kids sit there and say, hey, have they been putting stickers on you? One kid, yeah, they put a sticker here. The other one on my back. The other little girl's like, yeah, they put one on my stomach. And I'm like, under their clothes. And these are drug, melatonin, whatever's in them, but making these kids go to sleep or calm down. But the problem now, the parent says, now this is a week or so later, obviously this has been going on quite some time. The kids are having drug withdrawals. Their eating patterns, acting out, sleeping. But she said everything. A lot of these people, parents are just reporting all kind of craziness. And so,
wow, oh my God, dude, what's next, huh?
Yeah, I mean, but this is. Do you blame somebody, parents walking in there and just really open up a can of whatever you want to call it, right? Because at this point, we will be sitting here trying to be all political, but I will be in there kicking some. I'm telling you. Okay?
Is that a beep?
Yes, I'm telling you, I'll be in there just slap. I mean, it'll been on.
Yeah,
popular. Forget lawsuits. No money gonna pay for that situation. Forget lawsuits. We're gonna go into that. All right, so we're gonna talk a little bit. You've been here before, and if you haven't seen some of the videos or the video of the last conversation Dr. Doug and I had, I definitely want you guys to go check out that video because we did a little bit about his background, a little bit about him being into the space race, building a flying car that he's working on right now, and the partnership that he has here with us with Project Black, that ultimately our goal is to build a spaceship someday, or the next generation. Let's give them the tools and the outlines and things and framework for them to do so through his FAA certification, all of the credentials that he carry and the vision. And so I thought that was just pretty cool when he reached out quite some time ago, and thus then started the relationship that we're going to be sitting here someday doing things with young kids. So those you parents who are watching right now, Project Black is not just going to cover these experiences and stories. We're going to take this thing to the next level, because I definitely feel that we should put our emphasis into the next thing, and that is the next space economy, the space race. Why not plant the seed? Because I have no information that I have right now that there are any indigenous or people of color community companies that is working on the space generation, when it comes down to that. And maybe you've heard of something you can share it with.
I personally have not. I've reached out to NASA and DARPA, all the alphabet government agencies associated with spaceflight, and there's no common listing of people of color companies that are out there per se. So there's not a large community of the people of color being highlighted. They're probably like me, one or two here or there. But that's why I'm so excited working with you and your project, because this gives us a forum where if they are out there and they are looking to get a little more exposure and team up with us, you got a perfect platform where we all can come together and share our ideals, activities, and desires.
Yeah, I think it's still, like I said, once you start thinking about the whole premises of getting out here, trying to get people to share their experiences, and then you can go down and drill into the communities. But we also need to go up and out from a scientific approach as well as professional approach, because there's people that's dealing with these things mentally. But then there's that other part of the aerospace and what's the real true reality of where we're heading. And I think oftentimes we don't really look into that as we talk about UFOs, extraterrestrials, and then also understand that there is some certain push. There is something that the big secret keepers, I call them, or planning or getting people adjusted for, because this is something, it's where we're going. They're already 15, 20 years ahead. But, and I've said it before, Morgan Stanley told all of their investors, hey, put your money in space economy, from satellite systems, mining, asteroid mining, tourism, of course, space transportation, and things that you have been focusing on as well. And so what we're going to do tonight is probably talk to the audience and talk to individuals to try to see, where can we go with this? What's the framework of getting from here to there, and what is necessary? And then also, I'm still doing some research for the audience when it comes down to what we call the Black Planet. Now, in essence, with NASA and all these other people, the Black Planet is its own theory. But in the community of what I'm talking about is there a place where there is a planet where Black people reside or originated from? Because there's a lot of history of extraterrestrials where people have saying, hey, these were African American astronauts or Black aliens or all of these things. And then, of course, when Samuel was here with the theologian prophecy, and he talked about the originations of extraterrestrials and all of these things. So that just led me to go, okay, if they came here, then where are they from? Is there a planet? Is there a situation where life is totally different? And not to make it a color thing, but maybe it's a species thing, because we all tend to be some part of this big elaborate science project here. And so it makes me kind of wonder, should we go on that journey? And I know you and I talked about it, and therefore hence lent to, hey, not only with your airline, your space lines, but we can also share some of this information, and at the same time, simultaneously, if we wanted to develop the process of a future spacecraft years on down the road, why not put this preparation in place today? Just put the vision out there. So
Yeah, with your wonderful UFOlogy background, as a researcher and scientist, you know about the stories, and I've heard about them too since I was a kid growing up, that there were blacks out there, ETs, that came here. And of course, we look at the GMO theory of our DNA, and all seems to be going back to one origin. That my origin might have been black. So you're right. They've been here. There's plenty of proof of that. They're out there. And I'm so excited if we can help build a hardware to help your seekers go out there and find them and say hello, and team up.
now, just perspective wise, time wise, although we having this conversation today, 2023, to get from here to there, of course, it's going to require the next generation at some point. So would this be 30 years, 20 years, 15? Now, of course, funding makes a whole lot of difference in technology and where we are. But how real can something like this come to pass?
Well, you said it. The key is, whatever God wants to unfold for our timeline. But yeah, funding's going to dictate a lot of the timeline. The technology's here now to be able to go out to space and start looking around for some planets that have gravity that might host such a community. But how long will it take to do it? We can't say. Definitely the younger kids, which I love working with and connect to all the time, are going to have to be involved, and their kids are probably also going to have to carry the ball. So I don't know, Roger. That's a tough one on timeline.
Well, I just think about, how many, and you've been around this, you've been in the airline business, Star Lines now, is there a disproportionately part sector? I mean, first of all, you've been around this. Is there any Black-owned aerospace companies?
No, I'm going to say, in terms of the transportation piece, or what they now call the flight providers, service providers, no. I'm the only one that's out there that's doing that. And in America, I'm the only airline left. There were only about 3 or 4 Black-owned airlines that even got certified with the FAA here in America. And they've come and gone, and I'm probably the last one standing. And I believe that it's an easy step from the airline to the space line activity if somebody chooses to go that route like we are doing. And so if that's true, there are no airlines out there other than myself. And we are dormant at this point getting recertified as a space line. Now there's a couple of airlines, in the world. You've got some in Nigeria and Jamaica and around, but they're pretty much regular airlines. They're not even thinking about aerospace, let alone capable of going that direction.
Hmm. Now, is there a reason for this? Is it just
Oh, yeah. Racism would have to be at the top because it's impossible for you to have 8 billion people on this planet and the only ones being involved with the airline, space line industry are not people of color. You got to work really hard to pull that off. And I'm sure it breaks God's heart to see that. So racism plays a big piece of it. And of course, very few people invest in black companies. It's growing now, it's getting better. But look at what happened with COVID. Look how many businesses that were owned by the white community that got grants. And on the other side, look how many in the black community, or how few, that got loans and are being demanded right now to pay them back, which is driving them in bankruptcy. That's one small example of what's happening underneath our feet right now that we can touch to say, hey, that's unfair.
all right? Let me flip the coin for a minute. Let's take racism out of it, but let's go to, is it our younger generation is not being led to these sophisticated type things like space aeronautics or space engineering? I mean, not there are a lot of smart children out there. Are there any facilities or classes or I don't know, any programs that will lead people as they get older, the young ones, to space engineering, space travel, all of this stuff? I mean, is it there?
Yeah, there's a few organizations like mine that have things like kid camps. It's all about the visibility. The kids see somebody dunking a ball or throwing a long pass over and over, and so that gets in their mind. That's the way to go. Or even selling drugs on the street, but they don't visually see somebody being the leader of an airline. Even for that matter, wearing pilot uniforms that much. But there are a few airline pilots that have joined together and some national black aviation programs and people of color that have put together kid camps. And these kid camps go out and try to find the few kids that are out there, raise their hand saying, pick me, and then try to help them up the ladder, give them a scholarship or two, and invite them to go down and see or sit at the airport in the airplane. So there's a little bit that out there, but that little bit works. So that proves if you give these kids an envision, you give them a sight to look at, they're going to go that way. But we need a lot more of that, proportional wise, if we're going to see that come into fruition. And right now, we see the price for that. The airlines are starving for pilots. And if they would have been involved with this fair exposure program back, 20 years ago, then you'd have your pool of women pilots and minority pilots ready to fill those empty seats out there. But it didn't happen. Starting to happen now. Some of the airlines are getting behind the programs that help get these minority pilots and women in the cockpit, and it's working. But you started a little late, so now you got to work a little harder to fill that gap.
Yeah, I think it's and I know you and I talked about it here with Project Black, where we will begin to start some children's program as well with my audience and community, and even having kids to give us ideas of what a future space transportation would look like in their mind. How can we construct whatever this this craft that we're going to potentially endorse to build, right? So, I kind of look at it from, like you just said, like the airlines. I know they already got issues with traffic control and air traffic controllers, and how stressed that is, but yet it's still a lot of disconnect there in all these prime positions. But now with the onset of AI, and they're already doing autonomous vehicles, trucks, and drones. We know the military use non-piloted drones, and that same concept can go into a airliner. Could they do that?
Yeah, in fact, that's interesting when you talk about AI. the airplanes have had autopilots since the 20s and 30s. So we're already used to our industry having aircraft flown by microchips and solid state devices,
Right.
and cars and everything else is catching up. I think that's why the flying car is going to be a step ahead of the electrical AI car on the road, because it's going to naturally be driven by AI and flight control. So that's been there forever, and that roadmap's been established. And then they use that model down on the terrestrial planet for the trucks and the cars.
Now, sometime I begin, and correct me, please, thinking that the actual airline pilots is more of a security conscious thing where we feel comfortable that somebody's up there. But all these planes are on automatic pilots when they're there.
Yeah,
All this stuff from
yeah,
countermeasures, if it was a military plane, to they just, I mean, it can't possibly. When I look into a cockpit, I had the opportunity. I was in a 7 whatever one time, and I was flying first class, because that's how I roll.
yeah,
And so I was able to look up there to see how they would drive this plane, and there was buttons like everywhere. I'm like, he got to be an orangutan. He can't reach that over there. And who got eyes like a spider to see everything? And I'm like, there's no way. It's got to be visuals or something. But all right.
yeah.
So
And on top of that,
he's landed on.
no,
Yeah.
not only the workload, but the monotony of it. There is no way you can take a hour flight or more in a large airline or even a small plane and watch all that stuff, trigger that stuff consistently. That's a left brain activity. And we're not good babysitters. And they found out about 10, 15 years ago that pilots were becoming the reason why some of the major airliners were crashing, and
Mm.
they started letting automation taking over even more and more. So you're right about that. You can't do it. We're not. Our brains aren't wired to do that.
Hmm. Well, I mean, okay. Well, I guess at this point, it's one of those deals that, just get you thinking on what's going on. Because I know here in Dallas, they already just approved we're going to start seeing flying cars next in 6 months from now. You
Yeah,
know,
solid.
I'm like, I'm like, what? Yeah. So they hear, and I know we talked about it. And in matter of fact, how far along are you with the flying saucer? And then when will we make that trip and start getting some of the cute truth seekers to come to Colorado, where somebody can be? I think we can use somebody as a test pilot, not me.
Yeah, yeah. You're gonna back out. We're gonna get your Escalade. We'll get you in there, your Escalade.
Yeah. I want to
Next,
fly an Escalade. Yeah. So
yeah.
yeah.
Well, next year, we're looking at putting the power plant pieces together and finalizing that over this winter season. So as we go into the next season, spring, summer, we're going to wrap up everything because the airframes are all done. The dish-shaped airplane, flying saucer airframes. So next year, we're going to work with you guys, Project Black community, and have everybody come out and or bring some down there where you're at in Dallas from Denver, and let everybody get in these things and start training. We'll set up a training facility in both cities and start getting more people involved with the vertical takeoff and landing car concept.
Okay. So, all right, real quick, let me do a couple of things. For those of you right now that's here, I just want to tell you that there's a few people that support the show. Number one is Celeste. So y'all definitely check out Celeste Crittles journals. You can find them on Amazon, and there's the link there, and then her link tree as well. 3 different types. You will love them. Take your notes, journal your life, and of course support the ones who support us as well. We have an app now, the Phenom app. Of course, you definitely want to download that on iOS or the Google Play Store. And this is going to be a scientific approach coming to what is happening out here with these UFOs, the vantage points, and it's all connected to Project Black as well. So definitely you want to download the app. The creators of that is really putting some stuff into this thing where you can really place your sightings and everything in real time, and then everybody can kind of communicate with everyone together. And lastly, as you know, I have a new ebook out, The UFO Conspiracy. Got a lot of talking points give you a lot of information. This ebook, a couple of pages, 100 pages, but it will give you a little synopsis of about 20 and 30 different things so that you can be into the conversations, and it may be some things you know and some things you didn't even know. And a little humor sprinkled around in it a little bit. So check out the ebook, go to roderickmartin.com and do that. And definitely can use the support there as well. There is also an ebook. I didn't write it, but I had access to it. I put it up for you out. It's about regressions as well as reincarnation. If you ever had any wonders about that and pretty much want to learn or get some other information, and one part of that ebook tells a little eerie side of should we even go back and look at our past lives, and I thought it was pretty interesting. So you can get that on roderickmartin.com. It'll be going to the High Strangeness ebook little store. Those two will be there for your entertainment value of each and every one of you. Hit the like button. The app is called the Phenon app, PHE. Let me put it back on the screen real quick. I see the chat here. And that's the app there. And the developer of the app will be here pretty soon. This guy's a real intelligent guy. Actually, he's a former ATIP employee, worked with Lou Elizondo and a lot of those people in our community. And so he's part of Project Black as well. So we have some great information, and he's going to do one of the first interviews here with us. And then, of course, he's partnering with the organization so we can do some things there. So it's about to pop off in that area. So back to you. Let me put my little banner thing up here. Maybe there we go. All right. So we lost your camera there, Doc. If you're still with us.
Okay. Hold on a second.
All right. Mm-hmm.
All right. Got me back?
Got that one. Yes.
Okay.
We got you. All right. So that's your computer laptop camera. I know you have a webcam too, though, right? No?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there we go. We should be good.
Okay. All right. So, well, we're looking at a different camera than you looking at. Yeah. It's not the same one we was looking at before because it's at a different angle. This one. So you have a laptop in front of you, right?
Yeah. Are you seeing me looking directly in the screen, or
now we are? Yeah. So your laptop screen is on and not because your webcam is on the top of it.
Yeah. It must be. I'm looking down at the screen, and it looks like I'm looking directly into the camera.
So you're using a laptop camera. That's a little not as good as the first one. The first one you was clear and stuff.
Okay. I got you. I see what you're telling me. Mm-hmm. Hold on. Let's see what I can do here.
That's all right. I mean, you got a face for TV. You good. You're good. All right. But while you're doing that, we'll just work with it. We're good. So one of the things that let's get down to what I was saying before. From a base level of really talking about this in real time, of saying, hey, let's put some things together. Let's start with your airlines, what you have already formulated, tested, understand the foundation of heading that direction to building something like this. So let's start with where you are, and let's go with part A to go down this road.
Okay. All right. We're talking about the management structure of how to put an airline together and get it functional so it can work. I think basically it starts out with the aviation certification part. Of course, that goes back to safety.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Trying to get these cameras doing. How we doing? We all right?
No, it's the
web.
The one. Yeah, it's the web. It's not the webcam. It's the laptop one. So the webcam. I know.
Okay.
I know you have a webcam. Whatever you was using in the beginning is not the same one.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
That's fine. Okay. We can hear you. The audio is good. So.
Okay. All right. So the FAA, it's all about safety, and safety comes from historical observation. So when the FAA puts together a structure or certification, it doesn't have much of a history to go off of in terms of safety if it's new technology, as in the case of the flying cars or the space lines. Now, in the case of the aircraft that we have out there, we've got, a century-old history of safety. So when you look at the regulations for the airlines, terrestrial based airlines, and you see this merit of certification numbers that have been developed around death and destruction, to put it bluntly. So the FAA has different categories of FAA certification numbers that they work under. For instance, if you're a commuter airline, it's a FAR 135 and things of that nature. If you're a major airline carrying a large number of passengers, then it's a FAR 121 or FAR 129 or maybe even 119. For space lines, now they're up in the 400s, FAR 400, 435, things of that nature. So it starts with the certification meetings that the government holds. The people from around the community get involved to help write the potential rules and regulations of what that's going to look like. Now, the good news is, in the case of the star lines and space lines, they can take off a little bit of the history of the airline industry, especially in areas like training requirements and curriculum developments, things of that nature. But then you're pretty much on your own when you're talking about actual flying in space. You can go back and look at some of the country policies like NASA and European and China and draw from some of their past experiences and then put together this regulatory nutshell, if you will, of how to run an airline. But then you're pretty much on your own and you lay it out there and then you watch the initial people that are involved with the spaceline activities, and then you start regulating around that. For instance, as we develop our space lines now, there have been several accidents and some deaths along the way in the general area, and then the FAA had frozen everybody's attempt to move forward in their certification process as the FAA rewrote the rule book, if you will. So that's kind of where we're at now. Is you want to start with what's the rules of the road that make sure society slash the public are going to be safe as they go through it. And then these regulations run the gamut. We're talking about passenger safety, training, movability, ground logistics, and it all flows down into this big picture of how do we get from A to B as safe as possible for the people that are on the ground. We have a lot of amnesty here in the air because it's a new industry and they're trying to encourage it to grow. But again, they're focused on the toughest part of it is making sure everybody below us are safe and sound.
Well, it's kind of interesting as you say this, because I know right now there's no certification for space travel for humans, right?
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, it's all based upon cargo travel, right?
You're right, right.
So even if they wanted to send civilians to space, even if they put a hotel up, could we still go?
I'm gonna say we can now go up and come down slash American regulations. You have a departure certification process, and then you have what's called a re-entry license as well. So as long as you're licensed to come up and licensed to come back, then you can accomplish that. We don't have a license for space dwelling yet. They haven't. Nobody's put that out there as a manufacturer, so the FAA hasn't had to go back and certify that process. So they're working on it. So it's kind of, they once told me they want to make sure that the politics are kept ahead of the technology. So that's the way they look at this whole thing. And they think they can do that, and they have been doing that to a small degree. But in our case, our technology far outreaches what the FAA has actually certified. And then when that happens, they come back and say, well, this is beyond our realm. It might even be fictional. So we don't have any regulations on that. So when you run into that roadblock, no, you cannot go or you can't do what you want to do. until you wait for them. And then my problem is being a prodigy in aviation and 50 years ahead of most of the industry. I end up having to wait until they actually get a board together, look at the rules and perimeters, and then they finally put together something that is going to regulate and cover me.
Hmm. Well, I mean, golly, I mean, there's just so much involved when it comes down to that. So, is there a particular, when you look at Elon Musk rocket, Virgin Galactic, everybody seemed to have a different vision of what a spaceship should look like. What about you? What do you think it should look like, and why? And why, or are they all really working together and just, you build one like this, I build one like this, and eventually, but everybody's theories are different.
Yeah.
We can go all the way back to the Trekkie days, Star Trek, they had their little Enterprise, and then you had all these different things, but theirs was pretty much like it had two wings, and everything else is a little different. So what are your thoughts on that?
Okay. Mine, I think, come back to a disc shape. And there's two reasons why I have chased down the disc shape. Actually, there's three. First reason we talked about the last show, that my fellow brothers and sisters, or my siblings, all took these different aviation wing configurations when we were coming up as kids, learning how to fly model airplanes. And I was the last on the tree in terms of age. So I ended up picking the round shape. So that's what got me first committed to trying to get a round shape airframe and wing design to fly, because there weren't really any good examples of that in the late 50s and early 60s. You had a few guys that were flying things like the Zimmerman aircraft. The Germans had a spin-off of that same configuration. But that was the first thing I did, was commit to the round wing design. Now, aerodynamically, as I went through all my degrees in formal education, I found out that the round shape is the only shape in space that you can rotate to produce artificial gravity, and it still maintain the proper plane of rotation. If you take a pencil in your hand and spin it and then release it, it's going to start flipping nose to tail because of geometric designs of the configuration. That won't happen with a flying saucer. So if you want to produce artificial gravity in space through a centrifuge type concept, it's going to have to be disc shaped. Now, in the atmosphere, if you want to be able to slide to the left, slide to the right, accelerate forward and backwards on a dime, it's also going to have to be disc shaped. So that's the first thing that I grabbed onto, the disc shape versus any other configuration. Of course, now we're dealing with the ICBM follow-on rockets, like what X Prize is doing, and also SpaceX and Virgin Galactic's doing the same thing as well, in Blue Origin. So that we've seen all the way back in World War II with the launching of the rockets, and it all has that same linear acceleration, deacceleration, flying perimeter around it, which is not going to work if you're trying to maximize mobility down the road. So the problem with, once you're spinning a saucer in space, is the acceleration of the power plant. If it's spinning in a circle, and you fire off the power plant that's attached to it, then that thrust output is also going to be spinning in a circle, and you're going nowhere fast. So I found out that I needed to attach an additional piece onto it that remains linear while the body is spinning in circles. And so I started looking around for concepts and realized that the Star Trek Enterprise configuration fits the bill. So some of the craft that we have that spinning component on top with the stationary part below.
Now, but shouldn't we have really, I guess we just don't have the technology, but shouldn't we took a page out of their book? I mean, they flying around and flying saucers, they making it work. I'm talking 70 years ago, right?
Yeah. 70 years ago, or millions. When you look at some of the writings on cave walls, they've been doing that forever and a day. And yeah, we should. but there's an evolutionary process. And when you're dealing with a left brain dominated concept of building and getting aircraft to fly, we've only had aircraft flying for almost 100 years, which is short compared to other industries that
Mm.
deal with mobility on this planet. So they have to get to that point. Certainly I'm encouraging them to do it, and I do it myself. But the bulk of the industry is a little slow to realize that that's where we need to go.
In a particular reason?
Um, I don't know, other than the fact that the left brain dominated process doesn't perceive futuristic activity as quickly as the right brain. And I tend to be a right brain based engineer rather than a left brain base. And
But
left brain base is strictly linear,
but
whereas right brain
isn't
base is
the left
circular.
brain getting its orders from the right brain though? Anyway?
It can, but often is your leaders, industry leaders and designers are left brain, it's going to operate independently until it realizes that there's a better way of doing it. Then it will adapt. But the left brain simply cannot go circular. It's designed for linear activities and redundancy, and that's it. You switch over to the right brain, then you get some circular activity going. But you got to make your switch. You got to get those neuron passages, which us guys are limited with, to flow over and allow that process to take place.
I mean, if you start thinking consciousness, I mean, heck, that was what the beginning of time where our right brain was I don't know if it's the right brain more the reptilian side, but it was more the creative or the voice, right? And then, of course, that left brain, I guess at this point, like you said, is just a little more primitive when it comes down to, um, but I don't know. I mean, I would think most scientists or people with intelligence working on these things are hearing from the right brain anyway, right? So,
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, I don't
yeah,
know. I mean,
yeah.
I guess speculate.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you can really explain it. You're right. Certain species back in eons of time were left brain dominated, and
Hmm.
then others were, right brain dominated. And I think it becomes and then you talked about the consciousness, your concept about perceiving God is only in the right brain. The
Yep.
left brain cannot conceive or support God or spirits.
Yeah. Yeah. I talk about that, or I start hinting to the community a couple of weeks ago how we got where we are and how things are, and not to go against anyone's religious views, but the point of there were time in the past where our right brain supposedly had some connection to God, and that's where we were getting our guidance from, and then ultimately we woke up, which most people will say we're now, they're saying the cliche of us being woke, but actually we were unconscious, which was probably the better way to be, because we was a little more connected to things, listening and working as a unit and all this stuff. And then when we became conscious, our right brain began to emulate or began to process those voices that we thought is the God in us. And now it's telling what the left brain what to do, and just broke us back down to this, not so much a primitive state, but I think misguidance. And of course, I think at some point the introduction of religion comes in to say, hey, listen, let us give you a guidebook since you are no longer being guided by that God voice, and follow this doctrine and let's go. But we'll get out of that.
Yeah, yeah, and that's deep. If you want to stay left brain processing because that's who you are, you're a left brainer, then you design a whole system, educational system, society, structural system around that, and then you make sure your leaders are of that venue. And I think that's how you can maintain that. But you're right. Let's move on.
Yeah, we're gonna move on. All right, so let's go to home tipped it though, but let's go to, I mean, you got to think about it. The politicians and cliches, all that stuff is coming from that right to that left, and that's what now you can tell somebody be still and chill, and that's the God thing they listening to, and now that's the guidance. Be still and chill, but I mean, come on, we're working off of that. All right, so let's go with and one of the things is when we talk about getting out here to space, why is it difficult where people don't understand? So, for example, we hear when extraterrestrials, as a UFO investigator, when they come here, number one, really it's hard for them to survive in this atmosphere. Number one, gravity, zero G, whatever. And most people think, even us as a human, that we're just going to hop into a spaceship and we can just go to Mars and survive the trip just in our physical state. And that's a problem with that, right?
Yeah. We dream about going to Mars and colonizing Mars, if you will, or some of those other mass-based planets that are within our solar system. But unless you start with the gravity issue, now it's kind of like what comes first, the chicken or the egg? So did we evolve around a 1G environment, or did we adapt to it when we got here? And obviously we adapted to what's here, so now it's perfect. So if we go anywhere else, that environment's going to be imperfect to us. But if you go to Mars, if you go to the moon, you go to any celestial object that's smaller in mass / diameter than Earth, you're not going to have our perfect gravity environment. If you don't give us our perfect gravity environment, we're going to die. If you expect us to live in space in a zero gravity environment, we're going to die. If you expect us to live on the moon and expand our society, be fruitful and multiply, our children and their children are never going to be able to come back to the Earth. The gravity at Earth would literally crush their skeletal system, if not their internal organs. Same thing on Mars. We go there, we may be able to terraform it with the oxygen nitrogen balance that we're used to here on Earth, but without the gravity part of it being there, we're going to die out there. So that's just the way we adapted to Earth and changed our body structures and then grew up eons of time here on the planet. So you go anywhere else, we're going to need to mimic that. That's why we're searching for the Goldilocks planets out there in the universe so we can have the gravity match. Certainly we like the oxygen mass and the water, content, but without the gravity being number one, it's not going to work. And that's why I started out with my space line saying gravity first, in the environment, the atmosphere of breathing, and then everything else second. The industry hasn't caught up with that concept yet, and they're expecting us to live in zero gravity, but it's not working. Nobody who's gone to space has done well without being able to feel a 1G environment throughout the trip.
Well, it just makes sense that we want to prepare for all that, but then it also, on the high strangeness side, makes sense to why aliens would want to create hybrid children here with us, to make sure that the future can live here and live among this particular gravity and everything else that we have, because and maybe it's just opposite at some point, but the plan is the plan. Well, at this point, I know we talked about it before, but when we look up at the sky and we just see the moon, and we just go, it's right there. But really, for them to go travel to that moon, I think what takes 2 or 3 days to get there, and then Mars, what months, half a year or so?
Yeah, NASA's slow boat takes about 6 months to get to Mars. They'd like to bring it down to 30 days, but they're not there yet.
Now, what about if we decide to bend time or portals or whatever they call it to shorten the distance between, right? Remember they can, and now we go through, can we get there?
Yeah. I like that concept, because if you talk about light measurements for distance, and we're talking about, let's say, Alpha Centauri, which is going to be, way out there, light years away, you cannot accelerate your ship to go at a significant speed to get there in a realistic one generation time without running the risk of running into a small pebble floating around out there in space. And if you do run into a pebble at the traveling speed of light or a higher percentage of it, you're going to be totally destroyed. So I like what you're saying. There's got to be some other conduit that ETs are using, like a portal that you kind of suggested, so you can move that quickly without having to worry about running into something and make it realistic. So I think at some point, I talk about third wave airlines in my book, which is going to allow us to pretty much colonize the uh, solar system around here. But that's not that speed of travel, let's say Mach 50, if you will, is
Mhm.
not going to be fast enough to get us to any planet that has the gravity sizing that we can actually thrive on.
Hmm. Two questions. One is on the screen and one was prior. Well, both of them actually. I'll put them up. One, Nicole says she learned that the human body on Mars would change immensely over time, that it would have elongated bodies, necks, change skeletal density, similar to what you see on the show, The Expanse. And then, of course, Body Electric Zeppelin says, what happens to the astronauts and scientists who are working in zero G? Are they having current health issues?
All right, let me answer the second one first. And the answer is yes. Anybody that's gone to space for a significant amount of time, and that would be, let's say, 3, 4, 5 days, if nothing else, the retina in their eyes have been distorted just because there wasn't any gravity there. Uh, and that's all the astronauts that have been up there, and of course, the people that are flying up as guests now, and that's going to continue to be the
When you say
case.
distorted, like my eyes is only staying in my socket now because of gravity and not because it's hooked or something. But
Actually, there's another piece to that. What happens is the fluid displaces itself from its normal locations and being drawn down to your feet. And what happens is it rises up to the head. So when you get your fluid, your blood and other fluids in your body up in your head, you'll get kind of like what's called a sinus infection or the feeling of that. And all that pressure starts pushing on your eye sockets. So that flattens out the retina in them, and that starts to distort your vision. And that's critical because pilots need to have 20/20 vision. And here we are sending them to an environment that works against our desire to have them with the perfect vision at hand. And
but
that's
ain't
just only one part of the problem of lack of gravity in the body.
it's scary because the way you're talking about this, not scary as insistent. It's like they already know. Look, their eyes. Their eyes ain't the same as ours. They just got this one, and it doesn't even blink. It doesn't have all of the, It's like they already knew we got to change the eyes. You know.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
who wants to go to Mars? Well, let's back up a little bit. When we were first taken to the air as the airlines, I call it the first wave airlines, back in 2009 and so forth, we had to adapt the aircraft to meet the needs of our passengers. And then we went to the second wave airlines, which means we were going to be flying, 20,000 feet or more. We had to adapt the body or the fuselage, the cabin of the airliner to meet the needs of the current human species. We're going to have to do the same thing in space. We're going to have to design the airframe, design the cabin amenities to meet the needs of us going to space. We shouldn't have to look like your buddy down there and put the lens over the eyes and elongate our bodies, get skinny, and however they did that. I'd love to have their weight loss program, but yeah, we're going to have to meet the needs of that if we're truly going to be serve society and be a third wave airline.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because yeah, I mean they don't mastered their little ear sockets where they don't have to really have ears, and if they're using telepathy, what's the freak? You can just hear everything frequency anyway. It's almost like we're looking at our own evolution, when you think about these extraterrestrials, they come, the pictures, they're elongated. We even had, um, you know, uh, Catherine was here with us Friday night, and she was a nurse, a former nurse, and she was talking about her hospital work where they had a body to come in that was in a car crash. That this was an elongated body, the guy, and then he gets up and walk out on fours. But so you thinking about evolution as almost though the future is coming back visiting the past. And it's almost like, okay, let's put this planet together, planet Earth, Project Earth, and then let's see what they evolved to. But we are so busy trying to get off the planet where we're not even designed to be able to live off the planet, which makes sense to when you see all these TV shows or Battlestar Galactica and all of this stuff. We're actually really never off the planet because we're living in these facilities, right? Because we're walking around on a spaceship or a big giant spaceship and not actually on somebody else's planet. And is that different than us creating a spaceship that has gravity so we can emulate what we have already or simulate, and then we don't have to worry about it as long as we don't get out of it, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. And then with you being ufologist, you know that there's different species in space potentially that have different looks. So, for instance, the the whites, have their species of ET have a different look, which isn't necessarily the grays look, which is kind of what you have there. And so you have these other type of species out there that look more like what we do now. So I think if we find a way to adapt our transportation devices to meet the needs of our current configuration, then we won't have to revert back to the grays or that are above us or the ones below us, the Earth as well.
All right. Charles says, what about living inside another planet that is already housing people on other planets?
Oh, you know what? I think that's a good idea. You live inside a planet whose atmosphere isn't made up of the uniqueness of ours, then you don't have to worry about the radiation poison that's coming down from the solar system. So I think there's something to that, except mentally, we're used to looking up, especially here in Colorado, those big blue sky covered days out there with the clouds floating by, and we enjoy that. So if you go live inside of anything, now you're taking away the beauty, our memory beauty of what we're used to doing. But it is a good way to dampen the radiation that's striking down upon us.
Hmm. Yeah, because a lot of times, when we do UFO reports, especially, and for those of you, if you know, I'm a UFO investigator, and basically, let me just kind of toot my little horn real quick a little bit. And you can find some of my work on several TV shows. You got Gaia, Open Minds with Regina Meredith, also was on Beyond Belief with George Norrie, as well as Coast to Coast Radio. I was featured there. You can find some of me on Alien Endgame, which is streaming right now on Discovery Plus. Then you got Fox Tubi, you got Forbidden Knowledge, Gaia, kids have said that already. Some other shows that's not listed recently. I was featured on Ancient Aliens, the History Channel, and then also I Want to Believe 1, I Want to Believe 2, and then Bigfoot. I'm in that particular TV series as well, so you can definitely check it out. But where I was going with that was that most of when we get UFO reports, the first thing they want to make sure if there was a landing to check for radiation. Now, that also coincides with the sightings that we get, majority, especially on a more of a military standpoint, of them visiting our nuclear installations that's out here all around. And is always why. Are they there trying to turn off the rockets? No, it's the power plants. They're not where the missiles are, the nuclear missiles. They're at the power plants. Maybe they're flying in to recharge. Maybe it's some type of propulsion energy that nuclear power plants provide. But one thing's for certain, nuclear radiation is a killer to us, as well as some of our natural environment. In some cases, supposedly be an altered state for them. So maybe it's something about radiation, Doc, that we don't know about.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. God, power plant within itself is a whole concept that we got to master. NASA now is daring to endorse nuclear propulsion so that we can get to Mars in 30 days rather than that 6 month window that they're kind of focused on now. And there's been images of flying saucers recharging in the sun's plasma wake, which is unique as well.
Mm.
So, what are you doing to power your power plant? What do you need? Obviously, chemical rockets aren't going to work, and we need to move away from them. And I have. That's why I'm into the M drive type technology and the ion drive because chemical propulsion just isn't going to cut it mainly from the weight needed aspect of it, but it's limited in top end thrust as well. But but you're right, brother Martin. What are we doing? Are they charging from the nuclear waste? Are they charging from volcanic eruption activities?
Yeah, and if you think about it, those things, volcanic eruptions, are some of the most powerful forces on the planet. And you think about tsunamis, you think about underground volcano explosions in the oceans, and all of this stuff is like, it's like they may know we need to create some kind of power to get power from, right?
Yeah.
And like, let's harness that power. It's no
Hmm.
different than a couple of things that we know when you have the little ball, boom, hit the other one, and it transfers the power to the other ball, right?
Right.
And yeah, so I don't know. Nicole says maybe depending on what planet you live on, humans just look different, but we all are genetically related. I don't know. I'm starting to believe that, you know, I'm not related to a fish. I mean, of course, she's not saying fish are humans, but
Hmm. Right.
I still think the concept applies. Everything got two eyes, a nose, and a mouth, and so do we, and so does the fish, so does the birds, and so does everything else. So obviously, that particular model works. But at the end of the day, now you're starting to wonder what is really happening. And like I said, if you think about us trying to get off this planet, and it's so much to learn. So even for yourself to go into space, how come nobody don't spend time to go aquatic and go find out what's really at the bottom of our oceans or inside the earth itself,
Hmm. That's a really good point you brought up. You look at our planets like Neptune and Uranus, they are supposed to be the water planets, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And we believe that they've got possibly, some species living underneath them. So you're right. If we start here on Earth and explore more of our deep oceans to get some answers, that's going to help us as we reach out in space to some of these moons and planets that are water based. And one thing about water, which is unique, is that naturally fights against radiation poisoning.
Yeah.
So if you line your ships with water, like I do with my flying saucers, then you naturally cut down on radiation poisoning. But it's also the melanin in your skin. The more melanin you have in your skin or your DNA makeup, the more likely you are to fight off radiation poisoning in environments like deep space.
Well, I mean, that sounds good to say, okay, I was born with some deep space covering, but then that's also scary too, and say, let's do some tests on these rabbits, or whatever, uh,
Mm,
because we are trying to
mhm.
go to space and just kind of go that. But hey, tell you what, if it becomes the suit of protection, then we'll be an endangered species for sure.
Oh
So
my God! You want to give me some of your melanin?
I know, right? And then I got a lot of it, more than a lot of
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
cover 3 or 4 people with this. You know, I can do a whole family. They'd be like, "Just get him for the family." Let's get.
Give it
Yeah,
up, give it up.
yeah. You got a family deal there. We want that guy. You know,
Family
I'm
size.
family size, this bad boy. So now, having said that, and having thinking, when we look at all these scientific approach, now, all right, let's back up for a minute.
Okay.
So what confuses me the most is, on one hand, we talk about space travel technology, and we're watching this in real time. You know, Elon Musk, we're talking about, Virgin Galactic, Amazon, whatever they're doing. But yet the rumors has it the technology already exists. We got people been going back and forth to Mars years ago, you know.
God.
So
Yeah.
why are we got this fugazi of a Fugazi, or what do you want to call it, this whatever, in the public's eye, that we're building this stuff, but then on this other side of the fence, it's almost like it already exists. Portals, time travel, gates. You're talking, all these the super soldier projects, all this stuff that they're already going back and forth, been doing it for years. Obviously, they're going in a spacecraft. If they are, obviously, it's technology that already exists, and yet we're still witnessing this commercialized side of things. But yet, it's like it already exists.
That's a tough one. You got things like was there an Apollo 20 mission or not?
Okay.
Is there a base, on the backside of the moon, and who's running that? Yeah, you got all these questions. But what I like about what you're doing in Project Black is we're reaching out to the community at large, no matter what the color is, and getting a larger base together of knowledge. And those who have been contacted by ETs will be able to feed their information into this body that you've created. And we're finally going to get to the truth of the matter. We don't have to go through the MJ-12 secret society or the president's secret cabinet to get our answers. They're going to be there right into the community, and then we'll know for sure. We'll know if they've already done this advanced work, if they're doing it, or they're still working on it. I wonder if you've already got the Space Force out there, with ships flying around,
Yeah.
why you would allow the space shuttles to destroy themselves. I mean, they're up in orbit looking at missing tiles underneath their wings. And if this is true, then somebody could have just parked and said, "Hey, get on board. We'll bring you back, and you're not going to die." But so I wonder if who would make that kind of horrendous decision if you could have saved some people, if in fact that story is true altogether.
Well, to keep the cover up, I don't know. And see, that's where those conspiracies and different things come in. Now, Jair says life at the bottom of the ocean that live off hydrothermal vents has similar features as life on the surface. It's not a stretch to think aliens will look similar. So, and it's kind of funny he's talking about the hydrothermal vents because vent mining, I guess I don't know exactly what that is, but there was a movie called The Andromeda Strain. And I think it was Andromeda Strain, but whatever it was, this whatever came down and started whacking us off with some type of, I don't think it was a virus, whatever's the opposite of that, but whatever it was, they figured out that it was from space. And so funny about it was that it was our future people sent it back to the past for us and unleash it here so that we can create something to fight it because it was killing them in the future. And the fact that the resources of vent mining was now depleted because we depleted it back then. So they had nothing in the future to solve the problem. So they're like, let's just infect them in the past. They're going to be forced to fix it and then it'll eradicate it from the future. I'm like, this is crazy.
Oh, is that a deep plot?
Yeah, it was an ultimate plot. It was real. I mean, the movie was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had to solve that, but then they finally figured out it was our future sending it back, saying, "Hey, we need y'all to." There's another movie at war or something's different, but this was called the Andromeda Strain,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
like send it back so it can whack them They can fix it, but they need to solve it, and then that'll eradicate it from our future. So let's give
Wow.
it back to them because we can't fight it today.
How could you resist going to the past to fix something, that destroyed humanity down the road? That whole ability to time travel is just so amazing. And how would you
Yeah.
not take advantage of it if you thought you could?
I mean, you would think my older self would have came back and said, Roderick, to my younger self, or if I can go back to my younger self, I would tell him to leave them cupcakes alone. You know what I mean? Like, dude, please do me a favor. Leave the cupcakes alone.
I'll
Or,
take them. I'll take them.
yeah, or hey, that woman that's cooking for you, that old good old pork chops and stuff that you cheesing up on 2 or 3 of them because she can put all that gravy together, it's killing you. Not her
Yeah.
fault, but it's killing you.
Right.
Yeah, you need to stop that. So that's what you would tell, and then you try to say that to my future self now and say,
Mhm.
"Look, you're gonna." But yeah, it's one of those things. All right, so let's go into a little bit of. Oh, go ahead. You were saying?
Okay, I was going to say, do me a favor. There were two questions that you shot at me, and I
Mhm.
answered the second one before the first one. You still got that? You still got access to that? I wanted to.
Yeah, I can go back if I remember. What was the first one? And I
I
can.
don't remember. That's why I wanted to see if we could touch on that because your audience questions are very important to me, and I want to make sure that I can respond to
Okay.
them. If you can find it, if you can't, we'll catch it on another show. But I did want to let your
Well, if I
audience
remember
know.
one that you answered, then I can go and know the other one was right
Yeah,
next to it.
the one that I answered was the oh god, I think it was about the um oh, it's coming right to me. It's the space sickness. And I talked about the retinas in the eyes and how everybody in space are being affected by zero gravity. And the other
Okay.
one was almost related to space sickness, I thought.
All right. I'm going back. Somebody said it was me, and me could have just wrote what they said versus me going back looking. Was okay. So me said what's happened to astronauts and scientists working in zero G, and are they having current health issues? Was that one?
Yeah, that was that question, and there was one, and you shot me one right before that.
And the one before that was um she said I learned that Mars would change. We already talked about that. Elongated
Okay,
bodies,
okay,
humans adapt, wouldn't die. That was something else. All right, well,
okay. We'll get on the next show.
yeah. So let me go back and me, I'm sorry, me, we already handled your stuff.
Okay.
All right. She said, yeah, me did say you answered, so I don't know why me said it was me, and they already know the
Yeah,
question.
that was probably
And
the one I was referencing that I
it was for me to say it because we already, or that me, or she me, her,
knew. Me.
yeah. Uh, all right. So what about? I think I had some notes here. Um, um. Okay. So if we did think about space travel, and when you look at some of these science fiction movies or these movies, they got whole freaking cities, planet-sized spacecrafts, that's moving population around and all of this stuff. How much stuff like that could even be built anyway? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Where do they start? And so we're just going to keep adding on to it, or it's built in space now. So if you think about you want to build a community in space that'll house, you know, 10,000 people, wouldn't it take like eons, a lifetime to build something up there anyway?
Us humans can do anything if given, the right opportunity. Most of the large space projects like that have been put forward over the last couple of centuries have been the concept of we cannot move at the speed of light. So let's build a spaceship the size of a space city, if you will, and let the generations come and go aboard the ship as it slowly, if you will, relative to speed, um, toward Alpha Centauri or wherever you're going to go. So you can build, in theory, very large in space. Uh, Now, several scientists and college professors suggested that you would launch the moon dust or regolith into space, collect that, and then build your large cities rather than trying to lift them off the planet. You know,
Mm.
your biggest, what would you call it, problem or stoplight on Earth is our gravity. You know, we're only talking 60, 70 miles up, but to get a spaceship to go that distance straight up costs thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars or slash resources. So if you can go to the moon and mine that and shoot your resources in the space that you're going to need to build a large community, you're saving, you know, that traffic stop on Earth trying to get there. So in time, you know, you keep everybody doing busy work, and those that want to go to space, here you go. You got a job. Come on up. You'll find the people, you know, and you'll find the projects. The pyramids. If we did build the pyramids, probably took, you know, a generation or two to get it done. Be the same thing with a large spaceship slash space city. And then once that's built, you know, fire off the slower engines and just drift wherever you want to go, and eventually you'll get there, but it won't be with anywhere near the original generation that put it together.
I guess you could build it the beginning and then put your manufacturing site on that and just build around it from there. You know, I
Yeah,
guess that will probably be the one things from there. Yeah, yeah. I will say that pretty much. All right,
yeah. Look
so
at the 3D, you know, technology now, 3D printing technology. You could take something like that and get it up there and let it go to work and keep building on, you know, from the existing structure.
yes, in fact, I was watching a company that is making 3D food,
Ooh,
and they're making the steak that looks just like a steak made out of some beans or whatever. But then they use a 3D printer to print the meat and everything up. And then supposedly it tastes just like a steak, smell like it, and all of this. And it's the future. It is so freaking, I'm telling y'all, I've said it before. I'm starting a company called Preparedness Life. Okay. I want y'all to know I've been in this before, but I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to try to find everything we can on seeds. And if you find them now, let's find some distributors. We're going to do our own seed bank. We need to put up as many seeds as you can because things are going to change, not for us, but for our children in the next generation. And they're going meatless and we don't know what we're going to be eating. Now, I will say this, though. Y'all listen up. Not Harry. That's his name. Harry. I call him Harry. Now, Harry and his people have developed in all the books that they don't eat food anymore. They have some kind of green substance that they just rub on their skin, and that we could live without that, you know. So maybe that's a different story. I'm not really for sure. But where I'm going with this is the way they seem to be trying to change what we put in our bodies and approving this stuff is scary enough. The reason I tell people, Doc, to get seeds because everything now is being raised seedless as though somebody's trying to control it. And when we move to a space economy or living in space, we don't have nothing to plant, nothing nowhere anyway, because somebody's going to control. Montecito is going to control all the seeds that the future got to go through them just to plant a grape.
mm.
And they're sitting here making everything seedless so you can't multiply. And I would hate for them to take that technology, put it in somewhere, and now women can create seeds.
Oh my God.
Or
Ooh.
whatever.
Boy, you know, you got so
Men,
many
or men.
projects that
Yeah.
you're doing, and to add one more to it, which is so crucially needed. Your brain's amazing, man. My props go out to you.
Thank you. That's the steak. Eating the cow steak. All right, so let's do this then. Anybody got any questions before we move on a little bit further in this conversation for Dr. Haynes? Put it in the chat. We would do that. Anybody want to support the show? Got any value you're getting value from this. The Cash App is up there. Please do. Make sure you hit and smash the like button of that. And in the meantime, let me put a couple of things up here together, and we'll come back. I see a couple of messages now. Don't forget, we're talking about Project Black in the future, the Black League of Alien Contact Knowledge. Soon, matter of fact, here's what I want y'all to do. I don't know how you will find it, but there is a Project Black YouTube channel that we're going to be putting content over there. So I would love for you all to go find it, put in Project Black, and then you can do like a filter search, because it ain't going to really show up in the algorithm yet, but put a filter search for channels, then Project Black, and then you'll see the logo, this particular branding. Make sure y'all subscribe to it. We're going to start live streaming some stuff in the future there when we talk about Project Black conversations. So I want y'all to kind of do that. Back to the beginning here. Make sure y'all get your journals from Celeste. She's been here supporting the show and everything else. And there's an Amazon there. There's the link tree. Download the Phenon app. I'm going to check with that to make sure the group is set up so that I'm going to see if we can change it to High Strangeness, to where whenever you join that app, you can all be a part of the High Strangeness group within the app, and then we can share UFO sightings and things together. We would do that. I would love for any one of you to, support, get your ebook, either that, or you can, show support to the channel, or you can get something for your support as well. Let's do that. And if you also go to roderickmartin.com, you'll be able to get the UFO conspiracy ebook. And there's a lot of information in there, from mystery satellite to Mars, the grand conspiracy, light shifts, the moon. We talked about that a few times, the mission to the moon. There's all in there a little bit that'll give you some real good conversations to be well diverse when it comes down into this. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a live stream. I'm going to put a video on Forbidden Knowledge, a pre-made, but we're going to live stream tomorrow night too at 8:30. And we're going to start talking about a lot of these people that's missing and in the national forest. But I'm starting, just like David Pilates, a lot of people, but I think it's aliens. I really do. I really think it's a perfect place, perfect thing for them to be able to do that when hundreds and hundreds of people are searching for somebody within hours, swimming ducks, Navy SEALs, technology, dogs, and they just disappear and vanish. And the only thing I would think would have that kind of way of technology to do that has to be something not from here. So we're going to cover for the next several months a lot of stories of missing people, and we're just going to have our conversations about it starting tomorrow. So I want y'all to definitely do that. But again, support, get your book as well, and if not, definitely you can hit the Cash App there. I will bring back my humor. I don't know if the Cash App works. Somebody can test it. Y'all know it's my humor, okay? Y'all can test it to see if it works. Somebody can test it for me to make sure it works. Ha, ha, ha. And it used to be really funny. Now it's pathetic sometimes. Like, okay, that's fine. I get it. So that's why I created the ebook too. So to give you some value so that you can get some knowledge and stuff for the same dollars. You can Cash App it, or you can get some knowledge, either which way. All right. So Doc, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get more into the possibility. First of all, let me see something here. Someone says, he was talking about the seeds. You're absolutely right by holding on to seeds. I said once Bill Gates have a total monopoly on forums, we will be screwed. And you know what? I don't know. I'm not going to blame him. I just think he knows to put it together, because it's Montecito and them other companies that are deliberately creating seedless grapes, watermelons, all of these. They're genetically modifying the food. And maybe he already knows that too, but still, and Bill Gates could be funding it. So I don't know. I'm not going to go that deep, but I would say, let's do that. Okay. Uncle Charles said, let's help Roderick. Y'all hear Uncle Charles? Listen to your unks. As always with. Okay then. You know what looks, smell, tastes like real steak? A real steak. Okay.
I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, that's cool. It's all good. And all right. So do y'all got any questions for him? before I move on, we're going to talk about little stuff, and then we'll get him out of here in a little bit. Y'all have any more questions and anything else? All right, so let's go back now to flying cars, since you understand that. And we know they're pushing it. It's coming out right now. Flying cars are going to be among us and everything else. What do we expect? I mean, should people be a little nervous that there's going to be things flying overhead of us, and all of a sudden we don't even know if the technology is stellar enough that it may malfunction, and then we look up something that's falling from the sky? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm going to say no. Unlike what we saw with the Titanic tragedy with the guys going down there in an unregulated environment, the FAA is nothing but regulations. And as I mentioned at the top of the show, it all primarily comes from historical safety events, death and destruction. So the feds are not going to allow anything to be flying over our heads in masses that's going to be a potential danger to us. Aviation is safe. Third wave aviation is safe now. And that's only because it's been tried and true. In the beginning, we made a lot of mistakes. First wave airlines, second wave airlines, but third wave airlines have, pretty much got it down to a science now. So no, we're not going to have to worry about autopilots driving in space or above our heads to compensate for the people who can't navigate the errors or who are inebriated. So it'll be safe once it becomes a common thing. I think it's going to work better than the electrical cars on the ground, because you get around the traffic jams, and that's going to be a growing problem. It already is a problem now, but it's going to get even worse.
Traffic, and they're going to have highways in the sky, so wouldn't traffic be there too?
I'm going to say no, because a traffic jam is because you're behind somebody else, linear, and behind somebody else, and behind somebody else. The aircraft in the air are doing the same thing. They're behind each other, but now we're getting technology in the air, a more advanced GPS that allows us to fly wingtip to wingtip, if you will. So the idea of having 8 billion people in the air all trying to fly abreast is going to cut down on any major traffic jam problem.
And plus, you got more lanes you could do because of elevation and height versus just this way on the freeway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right, Brother Martin. We already have that separated out in the air anyway. If you're flying toward me, you're going to be guaranteed 1,000 feet below or 1,000 feet above me, according to air regulations. And exactly right. We get them stacked up high or below each other. So yeah, I think people should not be worried about that. Now, what kind of batteries we're going to have in the craft in the air is going to be a question. If you're going to stick with the lithium battery concept, which you don't have to do now because we have solid state batteries and that technology is coming online, and who knows what's going to be the new mousetrap down the road, that will be an issue for the Earth to adapt to maybe. But as far as the safety, that's where we need to go. We need to be in the air. We need to make that work, but we also to make it affordable. That's the key. That's why we're backing off on the electrical car now, is it's not affordable. And so you can't build it for a profit. So now you've got Chevy, Ford, and everybody else pulling back on the rush to go with electrical vehicles.
All right, got a question. Someone, Jerome says, do you have to already be a pilot to join flight school or whatever it is?
All right, my answer to that is going to be no. The FAA's job is to make aviation work. And on the bottom side of aviation, they got to keep making sure that that's accessible to the community. So there are quite a few things you can do in the air as long as your vehicle is not of any significant impact to commercial operations, where you don't need to have a pilot license. You move up to where you can make some money with your device, yeah, you're going to need to be a pilot. So the flying car has the potential of not needing a pilot license, especially if AI is going to be doing all the work.
You're not thirsty. I was trying to see if. He said he doesn't use water. Well, I mean, I guess we could think about, like I said, where are we going with this thing? And you know, don't get me wrong, who wouldn't want to hop in? You know, I would assume it's going to be for the wealthy in the beginning because it's going to be their toys. And who wouldn't just want to hop in this thing? Like yesterday, after Dallas Cowboys pluck the Eagles, took all their feathers. I mean, whew,
That's wrong.
boy, plucked them like chickens.
That's
Jerry
wrong.
Jones used their feathers, I guess, to fly in his helicopter because he after the game he got about 1:45 and he flew off about almost 2 a.m. But just to see,
That's wrong, bro. That's wrong.
Yeah. Well, it's all right. I'm sure there's some Eagle fans in here. Everybody's not perfect, and it's okay. Sometimes we get misguided and we follow things that, but America's team is American team. I mean, this is why right now, if you look up in the sky, everybody, I challenge you right now, listen to me closely. And if I'm wrong, if I'm wrong about what I'm about to say, I will pole dance, not in front of our guests, right here for everybody. And, but if you walk out the house right now, I guarantee you don't see no Eagles, you don't see no Broncos, you don't see no Arizona Cardinals. I guarantee you look up right now, and if it's dark, you're gonna see the stars, baby. Cowboys. I guarantee you, we're always there. Always there.
Oh, I'm trying to resist the fact that you may always be there, but you don't get the queen.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to see stars no matter what. You get hit in the head with a brick, you're going to see stars. You get slapped hard enough, you're going to see stars. You're going to always see stars, baby. That's why it's America's thing.
That's wrong, man. That's wrong, right? Sitting up there in Dallas.
That's right. But don't get me wrong, we don't see the playoffs much. But we would do that. All right, so someone else has a question here. He said, is it possible? Let me put this on the screen here. Is it possible that hydropower will limit the distance of an air vessel could travel merely due to the weight and the capacity needed?
Yes, hydropower. We're talking about water. Oh, God, water's heavy. You try to, elevate water off the ground, you try to carry it up a mountain slope yourself, you got a problem, right? So no, you can't be putting, hydrogen and oxygen in your fuel cells and trying to get anywhere unless you want to power it by 35 engines and, launch it from Texas. But then that defeats itself because the bigger you go, the more liquid you got to carry. The more liquid you got to carry, the more rocket engines you're going to do. So pretty soon, your rocket's going to be so large in diameter, it's going to expand out of the borders of Texas. So no, that's not.
Wouldn't that be only to get out of our atmosphere? Because if it's zero gravity in space, the water has no weight.
Yeah, it does. You're right, exactly. But the problem is going that short distance. Get me, that 100 miles up. Give me that 250 miles up in terms of the space station. With all that water, you pay such a heavy price for that to get it up there. Now, once you're there, and if you can replenish it, you're on your way. That's one of the problems now with the Armaments program, and that is how many refueling attempts are you going to have to make on your rocket before you can blast it off toward the moon. And it's astronomical. It can be done, but is it practical to go after that profile or not?
Okay. So I'm going to start a company called Hydrospace. And I need some investors right now. We're going to build the world's longest water hose. And we need like 60 miles of a hose. And let's just pump the water up there. They don't have to carry it. We just turn on a faucet, shoot it up there in the ship, and we're done.
Oh my God, you sound like you're building the Tower of Babylon.
Oh, we know what happened when that happened. They're gonna
Yeah,
split
yeah.
all y'all up and take your dumb self over here, you dummies over there, and don't even speak the same language. And now you're not worried about it. But I guess, I get what you're saying. The payload of water, because water is heavy. I don't even know how they ship this stuff around now,
Yeah,
being
yeah.
packed. But we would have to look for those things. Is there anything else we need to cover? Because I know it's been almost an hour and a half for you. So
Mhm. Well, I just want to say, first of all, thank you for you. Thank you for Project Black. I continue to invite the community to come out and support Project Black, where we all can get together in a common forum. And let's do this space era of our society right. It's time for our people of color to step up and do our job. We certainly have the door open for us. Let's
okay.
walk through the door and let's get it done. And I thank you for having that platform to allow us to at least attempt to do it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm with you on that pretty much. There. All right. Well, I appreciate your time. We're going to be doing some other stuff. We'll hang around here a little longer, and then we'll get you out of here now. But I appreciate you coming in and giving us an opportunity, dropping that knowledge as always. Pretty soon, you guys will be able to support his airlines and some stuff that he's doing, because it's going to be a public traded company pretty soon, and so or private invested company. So either which are, but to get in on some of that technology. We'll get all that together as we go in the future, as well as stuff that we're going to be doing for Project Black as well. And so, once again, man, I want to thank you for being here.
Okay, thank you, bro, and thank you everybody out there in Project Blackland.
All right, let's do it. All right, so there y'all have it. That was Dr. Haynes tonight, and pretty much from there. And man, those some great conversations when it get down to that and what we're doing, pretty much. And we got about another 15, 20 minutes. If y'all want, or anything that we want to share and talk about, we can. Y'all can put it in the chat, or anybody want to play co-host tonight with me, and I can maybe share the link. Only two conditions. You got to have some good lighting. I do not want anyone popping in here hiding their faces. Although it's okay if you think you're just really ragamuffin tonight, man or female, no matter who you are. But if you really think issue is an issue, then that's cool. But other than that, anybody that want to join us, pretty much from there, and we can kind of put those things together. And like I said, I'll put up a link if you want to join us tonight. If you got any other questions, we can kind of go over. You want to support the show, and thank you for the couple of folks who gave the Cash App a test. Apparently, it worked for those people. I don't know if it'll work for you, whoever else, but it works for everybody else, and we can do that as well. So, with that being said, we got a lot of things that we're going to be talking about in this UFO space that's coming up pretty soon. And as you know, we're getting closer and closer to more congressional oversight when it comes down to the UFOs. We're getting more and more whistleblowers that are potentially coming out to share everything. And there's still speculations on about why and what this is going through, and why are we doing some of the things that we're doing, because at the end of the day, it's not making much sense to are we getting anywhere with this? And so I'm just pretty always kind of interesting to know what things are, and pretty much from there. But it's one of those deals. What's happening with ebooks? Well, I've been trying to get a few of you to purchase the ebook. And I don't know, maybe it's Christmas. I'm not really for sure, but it's got some great stuff in there, and a great way to support the show and everything else. And I can shout out to a few people, uh, but here and there, I'm not going to too much worry about that. If that's not something that people feel it's a great time for them to do so. So let me put this together here. But anyway, so let's look into the chat real quick. And again, I want to appreciate each one of you being here. But the ebook itself is right here. It's called The UFO Conspiracy. You can go there and download the copy. It's an ebook, and go to roderickmartin.com. And then what you're going to also see, for those of you, there's a book that was put there for our community. And it's about reincarnation and resurrection and all this stuff. And or reincarnation and regression. I'm sorry, I'm talking about resurrection. Please don't go there. But at the end of the day, it's some great concepts and information for you to understand that if you want to understand life after death and all that stuff and what is coming on and what is happening, because that's also a true phenomenon to think about, because you don't really know to do that. Rita says the book is really great. So yes, several of us purchased them all already. Yeah, there was a couple of you who purchased already Friday, and I appreciate it. And like I said, I thought it was a great way to give value back to you in the community, because it will give you some information, as well as, you know, me saying, hey, contribute to the show all the time. But yet, if you get something out of it, you can. And so that was my way of saying, hey, let's readjust this thing and pretty much from there. But if it's something that you guys are, you know, and just let me know. And I know some of you said there's some advertisement. You know, YouTube is putting ads here. Of course, they asked me, and I was like, yeah, go ahead, you know, because we can get some ad funding. It's not much, maybe $5-6 a video, but if I were getting more other stuff, I would turn it off. You have to leave these things on. And the reason being, it's dark in here because I'm burning a candle. Okay, I'm only burning a candle. The lights are off. And so I figure the computer's hooked up to the live stream through a battery thing right here. And then, you know, so, you know, I couldn't, you know, light it up completely. I have to go on. No, I'm just kidding. I'm practicing a new theme. So I'm funny. That's not funny. I don't know what y'all, but anyway, everything is powered. The lights, it's that light, and there's one behind me. And the one that's shining on my guy, Harry, right here, and pretty much. So with that being said, like I said, I'm not going to hold you too much longer unless there's something specifically y'all want to talk about, or if anybody want to come into the show for a moment, then I could put up the link in the chat, and then you got, somebody said doing it in the dark. Yeah. Contributions are low, baby. You got to do what you got to do. You know, put the candles on over there, you know, and if, you know, we get it bright enough, it's one of those things from there. All right. So hang on. Let me see if I can put all right. So there's a link right there in the chat. If someone wants to come in and be part of the conversation just for a moment or two, you can, and pretty much from there, and we can kind of, I'll go from there. But it's up in the super chat. I mean, in the chat box right now, and so that you can see those things and pretty much go from there. Yeah, hang on. And then I'm gonna see about pinning it up at the top so that any of you could see it right now. Let's go. Hang on, wait a minute. All right, there we go. All right. So I just pinned the link at the top. So at the top of the chat for those of you who want to come in on the thing. I don't have a phone hooked up to take a call, so to speak. I have to go and get the other little piece that hooks up to the device. So right now, the only thing I can put up is the link if someone came in on the stream link with your camera, phone camera, and all that stuff or whatever. All right. Yeah. So at the end of the day, like I said, Charles, I don't have the phone thing. There's a little piece that goes to here to there or over there that hooks up the call-in number, and it's in the office, so I don't have it. I would have to get it out of there. But other than that, all right. So once again, like I said, tomorrow we're going to be talking about the missing. I'm going to start with the Derek Eberton story, and we're going to talk about does this, you know, pretty much from there. We'll be going there as well. And just to give you a kind of foresight of what's going to be happening, it's going to go something like this. Yeah, I really think that when people out there walking, they run into things like this that is possibly could be happening, and they could be lurking around out there, and it's a perfect place to be in the forest if you're going to pick up a few people walking around in the middle of nowhere and ain't nobody going to look for them. It's pretty much. And so when I start looking at some of the evidence that is happening out here, it just makes you wonder, is there something else out there that's happening when these people are looking for these people? And like I said, we will pretty much do that. I added a light at my desk. Okay, the link is at the top. I put it up there at the top, and or did I not? Yeah, yeah, I can't see it here, but the link should be um put up at the top. It's already up there. But yeah, there's so much stuff happening out here that we can start looking at some of the evidence of what's happening, because some of these people that come up missing, some of these people are, how can I put this? By the time they call in authorities and they call in people, search dogs and all this stuff, it is huge amount of effort. Sometimes 1,000 people, hundreds of people for days searching for individuals that just vanish. In some cases, they may resurface some parts of things of their gear thousands or hundreds of miles away, of not hundreds, but maybe 30, 40, 20 miles away, or maybe up on some type of cliff or something that is impossible for them to have trekked. Some of them having injuries and things that would not allow them to go somewhere like that. But it's happening. It's really happening. And so we're going to examine a lot of those cases, lots of them. And then at the same time, we would do that. Now, I also have an interview coming up with Nick Pope. If y'all heard of him, he will be with us pretty soon to do a interview. Outside of that, we will have a let me see. I'm going to be doing an interview with Dr. Stephen Bassett. So that'll be coming up sometime within a week or so. Sean Delbotsky, he's the one that did the movie Project Blue Book. And so I'll be doing some stuff with him. Ron Haynes, James, I'll be doing a interview with him as well. All of these people are future people that'll be interviewed, and there's the thumbnails already being made, ready to do the interviews. And so we will be planning all of those to do here on the channel. And then, like I said, we will also be setting up a Project Black. It's already set up, Project Black YouTube channel. So make sure you go and subscribe there, because that's where most of the Project Black content will begin to be placed. And so we will put that on there as well. With that being said, and since I'm going to host the rest of the show by myself, nobody wants to join me. I get it. That's fine. That's fine. There's nothing I can do. You don't want to join me? All right. I get it. I really get it. No, I don't get it. I don't understand why I got to be here by myself. So I get it. I don't understand it. Yeah, I don't know. You're not going to be able to find that Project Black. We got to start putting some content on there first so that it'll start showing up. Yeah, because YouTube don't even know it exists. Can you talk about reptilians? Well, we could. I should be reaching out to my guy. I haven't talked to him a long time. Canadian Awareness. That's the guy. If you want to talk about some reptilians, man. But the whole point of them is being who they are. It's supposed to be the part of the Galactic Federation in some cases, and in some cases the Draconian race that is really pulling all the strings when it comes down to our civilization. So shapeshifters, most people claim that the reptilians are shapeshifters, and most of them saying they're not some good folks in some cases, that they strive or really do really well off negative energy. So those are things that we can go, and I can go into a lot of details, but specifically, I don't know all their, where they from here and there, except for I've been watching Queta Mutar, whatever this guy named, the African dude. I found one of their old interviews that he did with David Icke or something about reptilians. I ordered it off the internet. You can buy like burnt copies of it. And so that was pretty good. So allegedly this was their planet first. Okay. That's what Damon said. And yeah, so there's a lot of stuff from there. And pretty much, I can't believe y'all gonna leave me up here by myself. I put a link for somebody to join me and nobody joins me. Really? That's okay. That's all right. I'm gonna find a co-host. All right. Well, Nicole is one of my co-hosts, of course. And then of course, Lonnie will be around here pretty soon. She's gonna hop on a few times. That's all right. I'm gonna get the whole crew. We're gonna be doing some stuff here. Pretty much. We're gonna do it. Oh, Harry here. He can't talk. So there's no linking show. Okay, I'll put it up on the thing. Hang on. And it's in the, let me go back. It is I'm looking at it. It is a link to the show. Pinned at the top of the chat. It was in the chat. And there it is right there. Boom. I just put it there again. It's the same link, but it is solely pinned up at the top. Yeah. There y'all go. And it's up there across the back. And what do you think about AI rewriting the Bible? Well, you got to remember AI is going to be interpreting things that it was fed, right? Or it's combing the internet, picking up tonalities from people. Or sometimes they could have a database where they submit the Bible in its entirety and whatever versions that they want within this system, and it's going to read and begin to learn because it is machine learning. It probably can rewrite it within the interpretation that it has at some point. And maybe it may make some sense to things that doesn't make sense, and it rewrites it so that people can, interpret it. I don't think it's not far-fetched that it's going to happen. It's going to happen. The key to it is, does this Bible give life to this AI where it becomes sentient at some point? And then if that happens, then we are definitely one of those things. So I think it's something to really try to figure out, where this AI is going. I mean, it's too late now. The genie is out the bottle. So we're not going back to a stone age of non-AI. It is going to govern and do its part in the future. So that is not, it's that unavoidable. It's already, that skein is woven, period. Now it's just better yet, how much do you use AI? I mean, you got computers doing surgeries now for doctors, doing things that a doctor hand couldn't do. You have, like you say, autonomous vehicles, 18-wheelers on the road. Like they said, AI is going to put a lot of people out of work. And I think a lot of people made a thought at one point of time that, AI will, probably, take away minute jobs. But no, this thing is going to take some sophisticated jobs too. She says, well, people wrote it so AI can rewrite it. There you go. Let it flow naturally. It's correct there. Yeah. That's why I said people are going to give that AI its interpretation of the Bible anyway. And that's what's really happening. It has to have a starting point, and then it can evolve if it wants to. But that's a problem, So AI could make it work, make it worse. It could, and from there as well. So we have Me and the Moon is here as well. So what's going on with you? So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things, like I said, we could definitely be talking about. But like I said, starting tomorrow, y'all, I'm going to be pushing it when it comes down to missing people. I'm telling y'all, have y'all been following some of these stories? It is crazy what is happening out there when it comes down to people that are coming up missing, just out of nowhere, just vanishing. I mean, just purely vanishing out crazy. All right. So, but anyway, the link is at the top. Anybody want to come in and join me tonight, be a co-host for a moment as we have our 10 or 15 minutes left. The door is open. This door is open. All right. So do y'all like my cool black screen? It's a cool black screen. a little bit. Let me take this guy off, put him over to the side so we can focus here. What do y'all think? The black screen. I'll probably shave some of this down tomorrow, going to the barbershop in the morning. And what do y'all think? Which tenets humanity would it choose to adopt as real form? Whatever it think is better. You never know what that AI is thinking. So the black screen, yeah. I think it's cool. It's what it's called infinite black. So eventually, when I do some of the interviews pretty soon for How Strangeness, they'll be sitting here doing it. Actually, I have a black table, podcast table. I'm thinking switching it out so all will be just like really black and cool, and then maybe get like a light and beam down on it as well. And Diana said, "Boo." Y'all know Diana was here over the weekend, so y'all make sure y'all go to the community page. I put it up. The godmother of the Truth Seekers community came by. She was on her way through from, golly, she do a lot of traveling through her RV and going all the way to South Texas. And we went out and had some fish, ate some gator. Then I had some crawfish. Then we had some shrimp. And then I had more crawfish. Fried crawfish, but she had some gator. There was a place here, pretty good food. Yeah, that is a void black. Yeah. It's really a shiny black, but I was working on the lighting. So if you move yourself a little bit farther from it, and then have the camera lens to turn around and focus here versus there, it makes it infinite, right? So it's pretty cool. And then eventually you put a little lights and stuff there, and then I'm gonna probably get it where I'm coming back a little bit, and the podcast table has legs and stuff, so we would kind of do that as well. Bring back Harry. He's right here. Here's Harry. I don't have that skill set, the Wi-Fi's, baby, where I can have Harry talking, right? So it'll be really cool if I could, and I'll be like, Harry, what's up? And he'd be like,
nothing. Ain't nothing up, Roderick.
And I'll be saying, hey, man, why y'all here visiting Earth? And he'll be like,
I'm visiting Earth because I want some human love.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe, but I can't, I don't have to take that Wi-Fi technology. Yeah. That'll be something a little different. Yeah. And I could ask Harry about love. What is love? I'd be like, Harry, he'll be like, I'd be like, Harry, what is love?
Love. And then he gets mad.
That's the truth. Don't talk about love. I get it. Yeah. You have to use a deep voice so it doesn't sound like a fish. Yeah. Maybe somebody else can be that voice or something, but that's my goal. Why can't Harry have a deep voice? He could. He could have a robot.
My name is Harry. I'm from I don't know.
Anyway, the joke is over. I don't know. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, the Wi-Fi was that's a pretty good tool. Yeah, that dude has some good content. And we're gonna try to do some. He should have a deep voice. Why? How come Harry can't have a light voice? Why he gotta have a that's you ladies who want, I know. You're already having the good fun with the aliens. Now you want them to have a voice, but they speak to you to through telepathy. And it can be any voice you want to hear. And that's it. He should have a deep voice. No, he's not gonna have a deep voice. Why is nobody coming up here with me? How come y'all all scared? Me and the moon, we know your deal. You are not gonna put your face on here. Last time she was here, it was like this. Literally, she was like dark. Yeah, she was like that. Hey y'all, I'm on the thing with y'all. So I already know some of y'all, but everybody else, perhaps a familiar voice. All right, so who want to come and do voice acting for Harry? Y'all can be the voice for Harry. And I'm at work. I hear that all the time. People work so much. I hear people cooking. Oh, I'm putting the kids down. That's a good one. I am at work. That's another one. Oh, I wish I could, but Mr. President is on his way over, like boop doop de doo, or my dog is barking, the cat is playing. There's just so many things why none of y'all. Rita, same thing. I'm coming but never come. Whatever. She ain't tell an alien that, right? Yeah, and I live here level like for real. Oh, so we're gonna believe you. We're gonna believe, let it flow, that she lives at her job, and pretty much that's all right. Y'all don't have to. That's okay. I can handle it though. I'll be here by myself doing this thing. Now Nicole will come. If I and said, "Hey Nicole, I need you," that's no problem. I know she'll be here, but I'm talking the rest of y'all. But she'll come at some point. She'll do it. But other than that, that's all right though. And y'all see Rita's still been coming for the last 30 minutes, right? I'm coming. I'm on my way. My daddy said that like 30 years ago, 40 years ago. I haven't seen him since. I'll be right back. He's like, son, I'll be right back. He went out the door. I ain't seen him since. Ain't that crazy? No, he did. He told that to my mama, not me. I was just listening. Oh, that's so funny. Now she just had dinner. Boy, it just don't stop. Y'all make it stop. Make it stop. All right. So once again, if you want to contribute tonight, you can. Thank you for the couple of folks that said, here, we're going to test this thing for you. And I really appreciate it. If you want to order the copy of the book, I don't know what else needs to be said other than for you to do so at some point. And but I will say this though, real quickly. Remember the other day I was feeling all down and was about to, take a good pause. Remember we had that conversation Friday night, right? It was real touching. And the new name for your channel is amazing. Thank you, JJ. Yep. Hi, Strangeness. We actually filed a trademark. So it is a legitimate United States trademark. Y'all can search it yourself for High Strangeness clothing line. And also my catchphrase, you may not believe it, is all going to be the future of what we're doing from there. I'll buy a camera for Christmas or something. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I just don't get it. Y'all gonna make me ask the ultimate question for not the fellas, but for the ladies. If you expect, oh my God, I'm gonna get in trouble. But if you do expect to have that relationship that you want with some of these guys out there, but you always have to be prepared to see them, how would they see you in your natural state to know who you really are and what you look like, but it would always be prepared? So would you be sleeping like the Bumsteads where you both got two beds and you say, baby, oh, we're going to see each other tonight. Let me go put some makeup on. We're going to have date night in the house. Oh, we're going to get a little kinky. Let me put on some makeup let me take my bonnets off, all of that stuff. How's that? How does that work? We don't know how that works. How does that work? All right. The godmother of the channel says, here's a blessing for you. Y'all give Diana a shout out as well as Charles a shout out. And then who else was that earlier? And let's see. And who else? That was, it was Diana. Okay. Yeah, it was Charles. And all right. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So Rita says she's married. So that's fine. Bulit-Like says, why are you picking on us, Roderick? I'm just saying, because I don't think the fellas will come and get on here with me. But if it's you ladies, it's like an act of Congress. And I'm serious though. And some of y'all be like, all right. So for example, I have friends I chat with, right? Calling no names. And practically begged and say, can we FaceTime? I mean, because you don't want to be just like, not that my friends have deep voices or something. I know it's not a man or a woman who you're talking to, but sometimes you just chilling and you just want to say hello, and that don't happen. Be like, well, I'm at work and I can't talk or FaceTime while I'm at work. And I go, okay, no problem. I get it. Don't FaceTime while you're at work. But you work from home. Isn't that different? But that's fine. You grow to love them, though. You grow to love them. That's your friends. That's my friends. And that's how I got it. What would I do without my friends who want FaceTime or even come live on the show? I'm just holding some conversation. Y'all know that we've been done a little while. So what Summer said, I like men who don't like FaceTime. What do you mean you like men who don't like FaceTime? All right, fellas, give her some conversation. Where my guys at? She says, and then me in the moon says, I do too. Summer says, I like men who don't like FaceTime. Why is that possible or period? And do anybody else agree with that assessment that you don't like FaceTime? You don't like FaceTime. All right. So let me figure this out right now. All right. So let's say it was me talking to you here. Okay. I'm trying to figure out if I got anything I can play with this thing with. Yeah, right there. And all you see is this, and I'm just talking the whole show. Disclaimer. And y'all disclaimer says, disclaimer, don't expect me to show my face. I don't have my makeup, blah, 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 blah. This is just talking about this. But that's all you see the whole show. You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't stay here for that. You'd be like, I'm out of here. Laura says, I do. You like FaceTiming or you don't? And Damon says, yeah, who needs FaceTime all the time? Ain't nobody saying all the time. I ain't saying that. I ain't say FaceTime all the time. But that definitely mean that, all right, God, y'all some shy folks. That's what it is. Oh, I'm sorry. It's trauma behind this stuff. Yeah, that's what it is. Me and the moon, she's like, what? Okay. Who needs FaceTime? Yeah, all the time. I do. Laura, I do what? You like FaceTime or you don't? Damon, he said, I agree. Summer, I just never got into it. Let me go here. A couple times in video, whole life, Zoom chats are cool, but I don't know. The view is weird for me. No shots and stuff. Nicole says, I like FaceTime. I FaceTime with my family twice a week and use Zoom several times a day. There we go. Appreciate it. Nicole, that's what I'm talking about. The team right there. She says she likes FaceTime. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And you, come on, y'all, you gotta, that was probably one of the greatest inventions of all time. The communication, especially for long distance, talking to people. When you can sit there and talk to somebody. Yeah, but I get it. Some of y'all using dating sites and stuff. JJ say over the phone, chat message phone, unless otherwise arranged and prepared. JJ is a man, JJ. We're not talking about you have to put on your makeup like some of these women are saying, right? Or I got my makeup, or I got to take my... And what is a bonnet anyway? Is that like the ancient mama hat, right? So, I don't know. Rita says she's coming. Boy, okay. We never said makeup. Oh, okay. Now I never said makeup. So why don't y'all like FaceTime? Me and the moon, why don't you like FaceTime? Put it in the chat. Let's see. So we can understand me and the moon, 215. Yeah, let's see that. And then C. Gray said, I don't use any of video communication apps. I don't even have TikTok. What is this? Am I missing something with this community? Maybe y'all are spies or something. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? I never thought about that. You know what I'm saying? We got a community of, yeah, let me know in advance. Wow. An appointment for FaceTime. I will be focusing on looking at my self-talk versus enjoying the conversation. Now, that is probably what I would consider me and the moon. That is all the way. You mean you would be focusing? What'd she say again? I'll be focusing on looking at my self-talk versus the conversation. Wow. Men are nosy and they want to zap energy. All right. Somebody got to help me out. Somebody was, got to help me when it comes down. Fellas, oh my God. So why didn't you invent FaceTime and y'all don't even use the technology? It's crazy. FaceTime is some great technology. Yeah, I don't like random FaceTime people, but I don't normally FaceTime with. Yeah, okay, that's cool. You don't want like the robocalls to FaceTime your ass. I get that. Nobody want you, and then you up here talking about, hey, who is this? Or hi, this is Medicare Elite, whatever. You don't want that. And all right, Saucer. Let's see. We got some real shit here. He says, I appreciate it. The conversation goes better when you can see emotion. That's what the freaking I'm talking about. Facial expressions. Man, of course, you don't need it all the time. Damn, just took my whole fucking energy out of that one. Don't need it all the time. I'm not saying it's a necessity. I'm not saying it. Yeah, I'm not saying that. But it is good if you, talking with somebody in whatever, But I guarantee you, if you, I don't know. That's fine. Y'all don't have to have no FaceTime. That's fine. It's all good. That's just me talking, wishing, and all of that. And so you came. Right. You're here. Can you hear me okay?
Hold on a second.
All right.
I hear you fine.
And we hear you fine too. No?
I'm having a delay, like a echo.
Well, that means you would have to, well, hang on, let me see if I got echo cancellation on. But yeah, so that would mean you got any headsets?
I do.
Yeah, because that audio is coming back in the return is coming in the mic. So you need to
hold on a second.
Okay. All right. So Rita is here. So we're gonna have some great conversation now. It's getting ready to get good. In fact, let me see if Lady G can talk to us. Man, that would be good. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good. All right, let me see if Lady G is out there. Let's see if she can hop on with us. This is gonna be a good one. Hey, for all the people that left in. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So, but Me and the Moon says, what did she say? He's all into that no faceless stuff. But that would be shocking, though. You've been talking to somebody on the phone for quite some time, and y'all FaceTime, and it's a man or a woman, the opposite sex of, or the same sex of whoever, and you thought it was something different. Maybe that could be. What would y'all do? How would you react to a scenario like that? Yeah. How would you react to a scenario like that? Yeah, that'll be something else. But no one has taken me like, no. Oh, damn! Now I'm a dude. No, ain't nobody said you was no dude at all. At all. Now, listen.
Maybe she could be a dude, Roderick, but that's okay that they want not to FaceTime. No FaceTime. be it. No FaceTime my ass. But that's okay.
So that wasn't me talking. I'm not calling nobody no dude. I'm not saying it. Not one bit. All right, we got Rita here. She's gonna be back with us, and we're gonna get into some good talk. So y'all make sure y'all hang around in a minute for all of this. But no, you're not a dude. Spoken like a true heathen. Man, I'm saying I'm getting beat up here, y'all. Take somebody bag me up. All I'm just saying is, wouldn't it be nice? Okay, let me put it like this. Let me do it like this. Okay, me and the moon work with me on this. Maybe you have a different all right, so maybe me and the moon, you still here with us. I want to ask you a question. What if, are you still here with us? Put a yes in the chat first before I say what I'm about to say. I just want to make sure. Sometimes people hop off and I'm talking and I don't even know they're there. So we'll just go there. And I know if you're hopping in on with us right now, we just talking now. All right, she's still here. All right, so what if me and the moon, you were talking to an individual and you talked 4 and 5 hours? What if you talk 2 or 3 hours? What if you talk and within a week, 15, 16 hours? Great conversations and everything. Wouldn't you want to know what they look like at all? Period. What would you say about that? Yes or no? Yes or no? Body Electric said, mean folks got to practice listening instead of looking. Man, boy, y'all are just, boy, that goes back to that movie called C. That was a great movie. I don't know if y'all seen it. Go get out. She said, at some point, face to face. All right, now you get, we get a, at some point. That's cool. That's all right. I just thought y'all just didn't believe in FaceTiming or at all. And I know FaceTiming and face-to-face is two different things, because face-to-face can be planned. And with planned, there is preparation. With preparation, there's bonnet pull-offs. With bonnet pull-off, then there is opportunity to alter everything. I got you. It's cool. I'm with y'all. I'm with you 100%. And thank you, ladies, for the support. Y'all eating me up tonight. Togetherness of no FaceTime. I cannot believe. Some of you probably are some most beautiful people in the world. Why do I have to use the word probably? I'm saying all of you are beautiful people in the world, right? At some point. And there you go. And if that's the case, Rita went to go get her headphones. She'll be back in a little bit. And then she'll be on here with us and we're going to talk some stuff. I was trying to see if Lady G can join us back since Rita's here, and then we can have both ladies talk about their sex with aliens. And then that would be something really cool to have in a conversation for show, or that part, I would say. Bonnet pull off. Okay, that's now where we going. We getting somewhere now. She said bonnet pull off, face green smiling face. What the hell is a bonnet anyway? I don't even know what a bonnet is. I'm just making this shit up. I heard it somewhere. Sama says she went to the store for those headphones. That's all right there. She's cool with me. Rita is cool with me. The eating entities. Rita and Lady G need their own episodes. I know. I was trying to. I'm serious. Get both of them to. Now I want them to talk about it together, Nicole. And then let me see. Yeah. Let me see what we got. My bonnet's on tight. You wearing a bonnet too? How many of y'all got bonnets right now? How many of y'all right now is wearing a bonnet? And let me look up to see what the fuck a bonnet really is and what they cost on Amazon. Let me see. Bonnet. How you spell that? Bonnet. Boy, they got different sizes. Oh my God. All right. So are we saying, let me save this image. Go back. Let me save this freaking image. No. Cancel. I'm sorry. Let me see what we're talking about here. a bunny. And this one is a large bunny. So that means, is this dude wearing a bunny? There's a man wearing a bunny. All right. Enough is enough. Maybe I just misunderstand this thing because not because he wearing it, but just period. That this is yeah. Hang on. Yeah, it was a dude. Yeah, dudes wear them too. I didn't. You couldn't tell me that. Bunny discovery. Yeah, we're looking it up right now because I want to grow and learn and become smarter. So let me know what a bunny. And maybe, it may be a good Christmas gift. I can buy somebody a bunny for Christmas. At least I know what to do. Get some brownie points and shit. Shit. You know what I'm saying? I get some this is something, fellas, to look forward to. Let me put this up right now. And since we just went Bonnet shopping. All right. So this is really something to look forward to. Now that's a decorative bonnet. Looks like it's got a little bling bling shit. All right. She wearing it all sexy and shit. All right. Well then, okay. You know what? I don't know. That's a sexy bonnet. I don't know. Maybe. Make a hot strangers bonnet. I know. Should I make a hot strangers bonnet? I'm gonna be selling that shit. And y'all all, I tell you what, I'm gonna create a hot strangers bonnet, and I know we gotta have 10 sales, period. Right out the back for my loyal bonnet wearers. And pretty much. I'm wearing a plastic shower cap. Sometimes we already ready for bed. We jump on here with you. So I know I ain't presentable. Didn't plan on being. Okay, Nina. Okay. I will take that in a heartbeat. If you were saying that you are sitting here looking like this, listening to me talk, thank you. I'm love to, tell you a bedtime story. Once upon a time, there's a guy talks about aliens and extraterrestrials who has friends that don't like to FaceTime, and they wear bonnets. We just solved it. They don't like FaceTime and they wear bonnets. We got it. There you go. We got it. That's it. We got it right there. We got it. That's the salute. That's it. FaceTime and bonnets. Yeah, us East Coasters are in the bed. Nicole, you got a bonnet? Huh? You do? All right. So, yeah. So what does a bonnet do anyway? You know what I'm saying? Does it give you an extra pillow because for some big ass heads or something, or what? And now here's the deal. Do you wear a large bonnet, extra large bonnet, double X bonnet, or small bonnet? Size does matter. It really does. Now, size does matter. If you meet a man and he want to know without looking at you and know the size of head you got, would you tell him what size bonnet? I bet y'all won't put that shit in the chat. I bet you won't say how big your head is by the size of the bonnet. Do you wear large, extra large, triple X, 6X, or double small head bonnet? What? Okay, she said hers is large. And judging by large, the diameter that it says for a large bonnet, the head size, let me see. It does have a thing for you to measure your head to know what size bonnet you need. I did see that. So let me go back here. See if you got a big head. Oh, yeah. It says a bonnet large is a 34-inch head. Jesus. That's a big ass head. Now it's how much hair you have too. Boy, y'all making it up. Scarves or what's up too. Okay. Keeps your hair from being all knotted up. All right. That's cool. All right. Keeps your hair from being a mess when you wake up. All right. This bonnet. So you got to be really comfortable. So is this before you fall in love with somebody or before you commit in a relationship that you want to make sure y'all committed with a man before he see you with a bonnet to go to bed and wake up in one, right? Because now you know. I don't know. It's the length and the thickness. And with a bonnet, you can tell your head size. You can't. And that's the plus. You're right. Judging by this photo, a big ass head could hide in this thing. Yeah, I got you. Well said. Yeah, well freaking said. I don't know where Rita went. She left. Maybe, like I said, she drove down to the store and said she's gonna. And so I'm gonna put her. She's still in the studio. So I'll just put her down in the studio, and then when she come back, I'll see her and I can bring her up. Dinah says her phone is dying. Y'all say goodnight to the godmother of the channel, please. And there we go. Somebody said y'all got some weave to protect. All right, then, Janine. I didn't say it. I did not say it. Not one bit. Rita is back. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You still got echo?
No, I have headphones in now, but I was having problems with the Bluetooth.
All right. Well, you sounding good. All right. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to. We talking about bonnets, okay, and big ass head that goes in a bonnet.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to go right around this corner and take a quick leak. So you're going to be up here by yourself for a second, okay? Can you handle that?
Yeah, I can handle that.
All right, you good. You good, girl. I'll be right back. Hang on.
Do I have a bonnet? No, I use a silk pillowcase. If I don't, I get dreadlocks. Natural. Can you guys all hear me? Fine. Hi. Hi, guys. Sorry for the delay. It's like 6:30 here. I live in Hawaii, so we're 5 hours from the East Coast. So the timing is a little off for me. Hi, Janine. It's the poster on the wall behind you. Oh, it's for mudras, like all the different mudras and the different chakras, with which ones are good for each chakra. Expanding on your spiritual, physical, and mental. What do you use for washing and conditioning? Oh, Cravado, Miriam Cravado Gold Shampoo. It's too expensive, and I use it like once a week, and I use some other stuff between, but I use it once a week, and yeah, it works really well. It just went really crazy. When I first found it, it was $7 a bottle. Now it's like $90 a bottle just for the shampoo, and the conditioner is separate. It's a chakra chart. I'm writing a book on mudras, like a short, concise, easy to read. I have had ET experiences. Many throughout my life. I just now have had like physical contact with them, and I think I created that by asking for it. And the first time I did it, I was frozen scared when this little like 3.5 foot being, really skinny, long legs, tiny thing came to me, and I was frozen.
Oh, you telling the story?
Yeah, about my first like alien contact physical. like this little like 3.5-foot being that came to me, but I was calling him. When I was living in New York years ago, and I was playing the tones, and it came, and I asked for it, and I was just frozen in fear. I couldn't even move, and it spoke to me. He was like, "You're not ready," and he's like, "I'm going to go now," and I was like, I'm sorry. And then I went inside, and I was asking. It was still there, and I was asking questions, and when I had asked the question, I was like, "If you're still here, let me know by turning the light on and off." And I had like track lighting in the living room, and the one light went on and off a few times. I was like, okay, so maybe for yes and no questions, 2 for yes, 1 for no. And I would ask questions, certain ones, about, just some were stupid and some were, I guess were more profound. But the lights would go on and off with yes and no questions, and he was answering me. But that was like the extent of my contact with him that night, because I couldn't handle him in front of me.
Handle him in front of you. Wait a minute. Before we go
Physically.
further, all right, let's hang on for a minute. I took the time so we can kill this argument and got my ruler. And a large bonnet fits a head about this size.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's a big ass head. It said the measurement around that bonnet is about this size. So those women who say you wear a large bonnet, your head is bigger than Harry's head right here. Harry head bonnet would be like a few inches. But I looked up on Amazon, a large head is like this. So if y'all looking in the mirror and you see a large head from yesterday, then I can understand why you want a bonnet, because your head is carrying on from the day before. That's a big ass head. And although as men, we do understand women say size does matter, but for us, we don't want a big ass head. Okay. We're not into big heads. Okay. You don't have to have no big ass head for a man. I'm just letting y'all know. I'm sorry, Rita. I just want to put that out there. If they want to claim that
It's not the size, actually,
of the bonnet or the man.
of the bonnet.
Oh, okay. See, you see, she bagged up on that shit. Oh, I mean the bonnet. Correction. I'm talking about the bonnet. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the bonnet. That's it. I get it. Y'all are funny. All right. So, first of all, the last time you was here, they tried to rag my ass through the dirt. Oh, you're so inappropriate. You were bad to Rita talking. I'm like, what? Number one, she's my friend. Number two, we all having a great conversation. So can you?
I've been watching you for a long time, and I think you have a great show, a great personality, the way you speak. And I just thought it would be fun. When I read the comments, I guess a week later, I was like, oh no, it wasn't like that at all. I had fun,
Yeah.
You got to talk about it, because things like this are happening, and if you don't talk about it, like you had said last time I spoke to you on the chat, you were like, thanks, Rita. You got other people to come forward and speak about it. Yeah, because somebody's got to break the ice.
Okay. So when you leave here tonight, you're looking all pretty. Are you going to go put on a bonnet when you get in the bed?
No, I use a silk pillowcase.
In other words, why spend money on a bonnet? I can just use a pillowcase.
Yeah, I've been using silk pillowcases since I was like 15.
Okay. So if I was like one of the great shows out there, we have a follow-up with Rita. And before, Rita had, cheated with an alien. Have you been back since then?
There was one day since that I think something happened, but I don't remember.
Really? So, like what? What do you mean?
Yeah. I don't know. Like I was definitely like, your clothes are backwards and like they ride up on you. Like, I don't move around that much when I sleep to make my clothes like so it's deceivable, to shuffle. And so I don't know. I woke up like, I asked my husband, I was like, did you,
Oh no, no,
mess
you didn't.
no, mess
No,
around
you
with me?
didn't.
Yeah. But
I mean, that's like, was that you, baby? And he was like,
not like that though, because I don't remember. Like, they have the capability of, mind wiping,
oh
or where you don't remember things.
man,
And I think they're doing it more on me because I talk about it. The first time I had an incident, I was like, I saw an alien in my bedroom, and everybody's like, okay.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think, let me take this comment, been here forever. This was up here before you got here. Shit. I didn't even realize it's been there that long. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I'm not gonna ask, tonight, like I wish an alien come and have some sex with me, right? Unless I can be real specific, right? But like now make sure it ain't no, you know what I'm saying? It's all woman alien. And is that part really a female alien? Or, it could be reversed in
Or
space. You know what I'm saying? You never know.
Succubus, like a succubus or something.
Don't say that. Yeah. I mean,
Right.
sounds cool, but damn,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you I don't know. I mean, but I will say that, that would be some real good dreaming, if that was to be possible. But, have you ever heard any men saying that they had sex with aliens?
Just online, like when it happened the first time, I did some research and I found some people talking about it. Not a lot of people talk about it. Like I even like Elena Donnan, I've asked her like in a chat when she was doing a live chat a few years ago. I was like, have you ever had sex with an alien? Because it sounds like she does, but she never says that she does, Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's I mean, Lady G was here last week and I was trying to get both of y'all on screen, but she was just talking about her experience as well. And I just thought that was interesting. And of course, she heard yours and said, hey, I'll come on too. So that's why I said it is really one of those deals. But, again, I just think I don't know. I couldn't put myself in your shoes and be like, okay, this is happening. But I could once again play hubby and be like, I would be getting some sage. I'll be going to see some psychics. Look, I'll go find that poltergeist lady, so she can come walk around. Yeah, that right there. And, I'll be doing a whole lot of stuff, turning on the TV and sucking them up in the TV, something. He come over here, he ain't coming no more. Messing my girl. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure at some point when I do get a girl, she'll probably wear a bonnet. And at that point, he ain't gonna come. He is gonna be disgusted with the money and shit too. So, baby, it's gonna work all across the board. Still on the bonnet shit. I got you. Yeah. So what else been going on? You think bonnets are cute?
Yeah, they look cute, I think.
Yeah,
I
but
just can't wear them myself.
Well, I mean, what if your man came in a room with a bonnet on?
He probably has heels on too.
Oh shit! You're like, baby, it's playtime. Yeah, it's playtime. Oh, she said aliens like bonnets too.
Probably that they probably don't even care about that. I think it's about like, taking DNA, using it, whatever,
Right.
for I don't think because this is just a pod we're in, right?
Right.
Meat pod.
I mean, okay, yeah, people say that our body is we're just our souls are in these bodies, so to speak, and therefore whatever. But I don't know. I just think it's if that is happening in that world, are we in two different dimensions, or are we in, you know what I mean? It's like in one dimension or timelines we can use either which word we want, that this is happening and going unbeknownst, other than, again, this is a violation, right? Because it's not, but you like to say you was some of them, so that's a different story. So,
Well, at first, it was like, was I violated? I feel like I was violated, but
okay.
The residual effects came over to, during wake time and like being coherent, and affected, like how I knew that it happened was more so because of, not just because of my nightgown being pulled up and like backwards or whatever.
Time out. So this thing pulled the nightgown up?
Well, I think they might try to like get you back dressed, and it doesn't, and they might try to like hurry their way out or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but they should be. I'm gonna use somebody's word, astral. They should be just going in through the astral.
Yeah, right. That shouldn't even matter.
It shouldn't even matter. They should just go in because they can go in. But if they have to move stuff around, that makes it even a little more strange. That fucked me up right there. Like, right?
Because with the Pleiadian looking male, there was no like taking off anything. It was like, you just like embrace, and then like the spinning and like becoming one, and sparkles and like flying up into the air together. It was just different. So maybe I'm being violated by more than one species,
Well, maybe the word, I mean, I'm not.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna use that. Maybe the word is out on you. Hey.
Yeah, right. Oh, great.
Yeah, galactic, baby. It's some stuff on Earth, y'all. If you pass it through, y'all go over to Rita's. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you never know. It's galactic.
That's sick.
You know
it's
what
still
I'm saying?
violating. It's still violating.
It really is, because you would think that they would follow some conscious rule of permission or free will if they instill this thing anyway, and if it's against your will. But then it also goes back to when we talk about reptilians, we talk about all these other extraterrestrials where people think these things are friendly, and they're all not friendly. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I've been lucky, I guess, with the ones that have. I think I have, like, I had a implant or something on my ankle that I pulled out because it was like a little ball, and I was like, "What is this?" And I just like kind of like rubbed it and got the skin like kind of thin, and then one day I was able to just like clip it out, and it was like this weird circular bulb, like little ball, and it had my skin attached to it, of course. And then and that was gone. And then a couple weeks later I have another one, and it's still in the front of my ankle now. So
it's been known, the people that have these probes, that when they go to doctors or they see them and they try to move, and those things move around
them. Yeah, but I grabbed the one out and I pulled it out of myself. And Barbara Lamb had asked me about it. She's like, "What did it look like? What did it have on it?" I was like, "Well, it was my skin," and I was just grossed out. And I was like, "Ew, gross." And I got rid of it. She's like, "You should have saved it." I was like, "Yeah, I know now, but I have one in my leg now, again." So, I haven't gone to any.
Me and the Moon said it's like what's in that movie on Netflix. Which movie you talking about? And now I'm talking about Me and the Moon. But Nicole says they tagged you.
Yeah, I believe that.
And Jay says to whoever wrote Alien D, he wants an explanation. He wants an explanation to what Summer said, which was human thinks of it as a violation, but the soul see it differently. But y'all don't want no Alien D, not right now, at least. What is alien D? I'm trying to like dehydration or alien direction. You know, D stand for bunny.
Sunny
No,
D.
like
Sunny
bunny,
D.
Sunny D, or yeah. I mean, I'm trying to figure out
Somebody
now. It's
wrote
called something
Galactic
else.
D.
Alien Wang. Alien Wang. What is a wang? Like chicken wang or y'all show talking around. So if a dude walked up to you and
Phallus.
can I
Penis.
give you oh so I mean, you know, a man walked to you and told me, can I give you my wang? You know, like what the fuck you talking about, dude?
The eggplant. Yeah.
No, eggplant. Oh, that's Catholic all the way. That's old school. Eggplant, that you know, that's a whole that's way back there. Okay.
Galactic D.
Cosmic D. I mean, do y'all think this show is rated PG? Y'all can't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Wang is not better. Okay.
No, Wang is funny. It sounds like my neighbors. My name for Mr. Wang.
Y'all can call it whatever y'all want. That's fine. I get it. And Bonnet is a Bonnet. And Wayne, Bonnet is a Bonnet. Ailey D is Wayne, Eggplant. What else? All these different names. That's cool. Interplanetary D. Now we getting real Pacific now. Gee. That may be a new line, Rita. Just walk up to a woman and say, hey, can I give you some of my interplanetary D? That seems sexy though. Yeah, I got some cosmic D here for you, baby. Shit. See some stars. You gotta see some stars. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Cosmic, all his names. I don't know. She said that sounds sexy. Oh shit, I'm getting somewhere with somebody out there. Okay then. Fuck it. Fuck the bonnet then. Wear that shit. Want to talk like that? Or the bonnet. All you want.
Alien D might look like human V and it might got teeth. Remember that one that movie called Teeth?
Oh yeah.
That was funny.
That is crazy. That's crazy. So I don't know. It's kind of one of those deals, but I don't know. I think it's all. I think there's a lot happening out there. We just kind of gotta look into it and see what's going on. Only if he looks like Superman. I see a man gotta have Superman. He gotta have a Super D Superman suit, and y'all can wear a bunny.
I think they come to you with an image of something that you would prefer.
Fuck up and y'all meet Dolomite for real. Yeah, they don't want that. Stop all that talk. I don't know. I think it's kind of weird. I talked about earlier. I don't know if you was here in the show about that daycare. You ever seen that video yet? The people putting is a daycare or school, whatever, putting these sleeping patches on their kids.
Oh my god!
Yeah, the
They
movie
probably would have done that to me.
Yeah, it's called. They look like stickers and they cost something. I was watching, but parents are livid.
Like a nicotine patch. Like a nicotine patch. What are they? What's in them? Melatonin?
Yeah, and they're saying that the kids thought
Valerian
it was like
root?
stickers, and they had been on them for so long. When they discover it, that now kids are having withdrawals and all kind of shit, right?
Oh, that's just wrong.
Yeah.
We live in the upside down world right now.
No, I'm saying I will be like this one.
I would be livid.
And you don't even have time for a lawsuit on that one. You just walk up there and you say, I'm going to put your ass to sleep and just slap somebody. I mean, it was terrible.
Yeah. You mess with people's kids. No, I'm glad my daughter's 26 now. She's grown. I dealt with her hyperactivity. She didn't need any drugs. She didn't need to, if she stayed up, she was a little night owl. I dealt with it.
So have you told your daughter about your encounter?
Yeah, she's had encounters too. She's seen like UFOs and beings.
Seen UFOs, or are they coming to have sex with her too?
She's never said anything about them coming to her, but she has seen things that I've never seen, like weird, cryptic looking large bug creatures that walked like their legs were backwards, like instead of like the knee being in the front, the knee was in the back. walked weird.
Gotcha. Appreciate the support, you guys. Y'all give a shout out to Droney is in the house today. Definitely. I mean, I bet that's some scary stuff, though. Just to know again what is happening. But I think we would have to really, truly look at things a little. Look, somebody talking about. All right. Oh, Nicole said my oldest son is hyperactive too, and pretty much. But that still don't declare the school teachers without your permission to
That's
put
so wrong.
sleeping patches on the kid.
My mom would go and whoop ass.
I mean, and you got to see the kids kept all thinking it was some kind of stickers, and then they interviewed the kids. I'm gonna see kids.
Put little happy faces on them. Here's your 3 stars for the day.
Man,
For being a good boy, you get a sticker if you're a good boy. Oh my God.
I mean, it's like, yeah, you
go to sleep, you'll get another sticker tomorrow. If you go to sleep, okay, I want my sticker. And I'm good for it. Oh my God.
Well, it looks like, yeah, okay. So they're called sleep promoting stickers. So apparently you can buy them on Amazon. I'm looking at them now because they were showing the pictures. So apparently they're kid friendly. So, okay. So now maybe they're making a big deal out of it. So I'm going to bring it up on screen. These are what the parents are complaining about. So let me bring it up on screen here and put them in here. So apparently, because this is what they were showing on the news, that it was these things right here. Yeah, these right here.
With little stars. Oh my God.
Yeah, but they're sleepy patches. So apparently, it's this chemical melatonin free. Now, for some reason, either they must be spiked or something, because the other parents are saying that their kids are having withdrawals.
Essential oil aroma. Huh.
Yeah.
Nanomaterial. Unique nanomaterial. What?
But it says no chemicals or other worrisome ingredients in adults.
It's nanomaterial. It's little sleepy bugs that come out of the glue.
Is that what that is?
Nanomaterial? Nanomaterial is like nanobots.
Fuck. All right. Body electric supplement. You're in the house. I mean, you're a school teacher. So what about it? Now that you see the patches, is it still cool? To get those put on? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna see. Hang on. I'm gonna see if we got the story. I'm gonna see if it's on YouTube. But that was bad. School. Yeah, that was really, really bad.
Yeah, that's not right.
On kids. Sleeping patches.
I'm gonna research that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it came across the feed. So they was doing like and the parents was mad. So, but now it's like the parents are mad and they're using the word without their permission versus saying y'all drugging my kids. So maybe somebody done told them, well,
surprised.
Yeah, maybe somebody told them, well, it's not drugs, but they still didn't have my permission to put nothing to go to sleep on them, So I don't know. She said, now I can tell you parents give their kids meds to bring a fever down and then send them to school. Okay. That's still.
Kids sick, right? They shouldn't go to school, period.
Nina said it's from Alien D. Now, Nina, see, you didn't even want. What did Nina say? I don't have. I'm wearing a bunny.
She's getting sleepy.
But now y'all slurring y'all D, Alien D. Y'all funny, man. I love y'all. Y'all are so funny when it come down to this stuff. I bet you, and not you, Rita, but I bet you some of these women in here would prefer an alien boyfriend over a human one. What do you think? And he could look, and he probably could look like Harry over here. And they'll be okay with that.
I like a nice face.
But I want to tell y'all something right now. Look at this. Let me tell you something. That's like a 1-inch lip. You will not get the benefits from that.
No pillow lips there.
No pillow lips there, baby. So if you okay with that, and now don't get me wrong, he has a little bitty nose. It may work for somebody who may not.
No, I like big noses.
You know what I'm saying? It may work for somebody who don't, that he can go down there with a little nose. You know what I'm saying? He's going down there with a little nose. But for the big nose folks who don't smell everything,
it's a bonus.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean, he's a little lip alien. So I don't know. Y'all just may get around with it. And some of y'all get what I'm talking about when we long gone tonight. You be like, did he say that shit? A nose? What would somebody need a nose down there for? Really? Really? Yeah, somebody need a nose to go there. It's not no toucan Sam. Yeah, you follow the nose.
It's Freaky Monday.
No, you follow the nose. Believe me. But like I said, if you got a no-go, then that's perfect. Now, at this point, you ain't got no ears to hear your bullshit. Right? You can talk shit. And
he'll know if you're faking it.
Right.
Telepathically.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, you can't get away with that shit, but yeah, that'll be funny. I saw something. I'm gonna tell y'all I saw something that was funny since we just talking. I'm gonna see if I can show y'all this clip and if it'll work. Let me see. It's a window. It may work. Let me see. I'm gonna share a screen with y'all and share screen. Which one? We'll do this one. All right, I'm finna share y'all a video. Y'all tell me what y'all think. You might have seen it before, but let's go. Okay. There you go. I'm finna play it for y'all. Where the heck did my video go? Here you go. That's my alien babies.
Oh my God. Wow.
Look, that's your alien baby, y'all. Shit.
Those are android babies.
Yeah, that's
They got the nanobots. They're born with the nanobots.
That's your alien baby. He's coming out full size. I already got a fucking cell phone. Like, hell, shit. Let's do this shit.
Did you see those videos of like people having the babies after the pandemic, and they're holding their heads up, their eyes are open, and they're like so expressive.
Oh no. Yeah,
it's a newborn.
Now, who is that? Somebody says, I don't like this commercial. Why? She's so creepy. Yeah. Well, tell y'all what. That's not something. All right. Let's see. Theodore bought the book. I want to thank you for buying my ebook. Appreciate you. Yeah, so someone bought the book. If y'all hadn't had an opportunity, y'all can go. Let me put it back up then. Maybe someone else decide they want to get a copy. Right there. Boom. Ebook. The UFO Conspiracy. And check it out. You already know.
Massive information.
Yeah, it's a lot of information. So you got your copy, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep reading it.
There you go. So
Every night.
it's all put together so that people can have a dialogue about all these different things in UFOs and all these conspiracies, little stuff, all chummed up so that y'all can do that pretty much. And let's see. I'm going to audit Wednesday when I get paid. Can't wait to get it. It is free for any. Let me tell y'all something. If I FaceTime you, it's free. If you want to wear a bonnet, no, I'm just kidding. Fuck that. Buy it. Oh, no. But get a book. Everybody get your copy. M. Thomas said I got my copy. Thank you so much. Yeah, get your copy. I'm not gonna trade a bonnet for a sale. No. No way, baby. Wear that bonnet shit. How much is a fucking bonnet anyway? Let me see. So y'all won't say I gotta buy my bonnet. I'm gonna buy your book. I gotta order a new bonnet. My head grew. Damn, they $8.99. Maybe I can make a high strangeness bonnet and make some money. No, this is a high dollar bonnet right here. Bonnet's not
Gotta be
cheap.
silk though. Gotta be silk.
Gotta be silk. Why?
It's better for the hair.
But they're not wearing bonnet to make their hair better. They just hiding their faces and stuff. They don't want to be seen.
That's for the hair.
You didn't see not one person who was talking about wearing a bonnet was wearing it for their hair, except you and one other person. Everybody else, that was just like normal, like bonnet and fried chicken. It's normal, or bonnet and soup. You know, I'm getting ready, or bunny in my pajamas. It's like a team, you know, pajama and bunnies. I don't even want to get on that. How many of you ladies wear pajamas to bed with your man? Don't nobody answer.
I can't see all those. I can't wear a bunch of clothes to bed.
Look, it's quiet. Look,
it's crazy.
You heard me say that in the chat was like this shit. Yeah. Crickets like a mother. Anybody who wear bonnet and pajamas to bed,
the pants and the button-down shirts, long sleeves.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one time you should do that, for a few days. For
the Christmas picture where you're all dressed the same.
Look, she talking about define. But you know what I was gonna do? Like, I have some of these, I do have 8 high strangeness shirts that this company sent me, like real big, like 6, 7, 8 inch. I mean, 7XL shirts. They're really big, and I was gonna put the logo and brand. This was a while back, and sell them as pajamas to some of the ladies. Maybe y'all can wear it. Yeah, dorm shirts or something. But yeah, she says t-shirts and tank tops. I'm a mom. What shit? He can't. Your kid can't be just coming in the bedroom at will, right? No.
Well, they do.
They do.
Yeah, they do. What are you wrestling?
You know what? I remember that. I remember one time. This is a long time ago. This chick spent the night at my house, and long time ago. And her little boy, was trying to push my fucking bedroom door open. And so I'm ticked. I get over out of the bed and go walk up and crack the door. Like, what do you want? Now his mom is livid now, because now I done opened the door. And not her. When she said, I just could have told his ass to leave the door alone. He was about to kick the fucking door in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
He was protecting his mom, probably, like wondering what's going on. How old was he?
He was like 8 or 9. You should know what's happening at that point.
Yeah, he knows. He was,
you know what I'm saying?
Protecting his mom.
Yeah. But I'm saying he should already know what's happening and already know the boundaries. That's her fault. I think she did it on purpose. Told him come in there.
Was it like in the mid-afternoon, or was it?
It was nighttime. It was nighttime.
Like he should be sleeping. Yeah.
Well, they were spending the night at the time, and so yeah, I should have just had more toys for him, or something, tied his ass up. Told her I'd be right back and tied him up. I know next time I would have tied him up. She would have heard nothing from his ass. Put a tablecloth around his throat. Yeah, tied his
back
ass.
in the day, they'd be like with the NyQuil, line him up.
Line him up. Oh shit, his ass.
That's
don't go down.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's all good. She talking about you need a patch or a sticker. Yeah, I know, right? 2 or 3. I would have super stuck his ass. Ass would have been. He'd have been snoring like a motherfucker. She'd be like, he ain't never got no sleep like that. He must like this place. Yeah, baby, he really do. Yeah. I make it comfortable for kids, baby. That's me. That's a loving spirit here. Kids, when they come over here, yeah, they're calm.
Uncle Rod.
Yeah, you walk Uncle Rod's house like a motherfucker. Yeah, you go get some sleep, baby. You go get some rest. You come over my house. Your kids gonna be calm. Like bring them all. I don't know. That's one of those deals, but I don't know. We just have to talk about it at that point. But kids and aliens and all this stuff. But we got a lot of stuff going on out there, and when it comes down to this, and oftentimes, I've heard stories of kids talking about they seeing, shadows, ghosts, aliens, and all this stuff, and you tend to want to believe it, and most parents will be like, nah, that's just a boogeyman, don't worry. Oh, mom, I saw somebody in there, so it's hard to say. No, Roderick, the 9-year-old didn't know you were pregnant. Oh, she talking about an old story. That was an old story. And I think y'all heard about it. I was at the grocery store, and this was some months back. Little boy walked up to me. He was about 9 years old and said, when you having your baby? And I'm like,
kids are mean. Kids could be so mean.
No, that was dumb. That was a dumb ass. I mean, I'm looking at his mother. Obviously. Oh, go ahead.
Is it within this time frame? Because now all the kids believe that men can have babies.
I don't know where they're getting that dumb shit from, but I tell you what, it was within a year, and the mother was there with his other, and I'm like, you can blame him, then you got to blame her, because at this point it's like, really, he don't know that I'm not. I mean, okay, I got a muscle. It's the muscle. Okay, it's not muscle, but the whole point, if he think I'm pregnant, it's the possibility. It that comes from the home. He either must seen his mom pregnant all the time and just thought it's just everybody's pregnant. I don't know.
Or he was just being a mean kid.
He was serious. He was looking at me for education.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah. Or no, he wasn't looking at me for education. He was looking to just say this common thing that he normally probably says to all fat belly things, right? And he was like, when you're having your baby. Because I didn't sense it was, because if I sensed he was being funny, I would have accidentally bumped into his ass. Right? I would have put this weight on his ass.
His mom tell him not to ask those questions. I made the mistake.
She didn't stop him. She was like, I'm sorry. Instead of saying to him, she's going, I'm sorry. No, take some of his, tell him right now.
Yep.
Tell him this is not going to happen. He got to know the difference, or whatever. Tell him, tell him he didn't come for no stork and bring his ass down the chimney. Whatever. He still believe in that one. Yeah. Somebody said, well, men are having babies too. I know that I was watching a TV show and the guy was arguing with a transgender person, and he was talking about how they was debating on rights of a transgender going into the restrooms, and the transgender person was like, yeah, because sometimes I don't want people to see when I'm on my cycle. And the other white dude said, men don't have cycles. And the other guy said, yes, we do. He said, no, you don't. He was going at it like, yes, we do have cycles. Like,
they're on hormones.
He's like, you don't. Well, she was talking about that it was bleeding, and he was like, no,
they don't have a uterus. There's no uterus to be able.
And he was arguing them down, and the guy was like, that's stupid, man. You don't have cycles. So how are you gonna sit here and try to, so maybe something new. Yeah.
Alien stuff.
And maybe women gonna find a way to have babies without us, period.
Well, they did say that, like Jurassic Park was that, right? All the female dinosaurs that they resurrected.
Yep, they start breeding by themselves. Like some South African frog, yeah, that can do that.
Yeah, and Nemo, that Nemo fish.
All right, so some of you ladies out there right now, if you can have a baby by yourself without a man, and you can say, if I want to be pregnant, I want to raise a kid, but I don't want the dude, would you do it?
Part of the fun.
Let me see the cricket. Well, maybe. I hear crickets. Ain't nobody saying shit in the top.
Artificial wombs. They have that. They're making those.
Yeah. Oh, finally. Summer says something on our side. No. Me and the moon, which I almost said man in the moon, we probably already do as many single mothers as it is. Well, that's because y'all, I ain't gonna say that. Can't say y'all picking the wrong folks, but I'm saying, period. If you can just eliminate the purpose of co-creating with a guy and everything else, and pretty much, but it's an illusion. I don't know how many kids you got, Rita.
One.
How come you have
on
any
the
more?
Earth?
On the Earth. Okay, sorry to hear that. Oh,
Yeah.
you got alien babies out there.
Yeah.
How many?
4 we found out.
Yeah, Mary. She used to come, and she be on. I had her and Barbara Lamb on the show earlier. When I first started, so you can go back and look at that video. And Barbara Lamb and I are pretty tight, and so she was talking about how she has like 6, 7 alien kids, and she even wrote a book for children in ETs. It's around here somewhere.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely gonna have to get that.
Yeah, it's a book on. I think it's sitting here. Let me see real quick. I'll be right back. You're gonna be here by yourself. Let me go right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that book. Yeah, they block you. But meditation gets you deeper into your psyche and spirituality. I believe meditation is a key element, definitely. Frequencies, playing certain frequencies, sound bowls, gongs, tingsha bells, any instruments really to raise frequencies. You want to have a higher frequency to be able to tap into that info, the Akashic records. Everybody has the capability.
All right. Yeah, I found it.
Yes, I've used Dr. Veer's app. That's what ET Friends in Space.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it up on screen right there. Yeah. So that's it. And it's a real good color book, and has a lot of good illustrations. Barbara Lamb and Mary Edwards is on the back. That's what it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't have access to them unless I'm taking.
What they say?
I guess I should meditate. Like Laura Lee asked me if I'm in contact with my cosmic children. I have met them.
Me and the Moon? You got cosmic kids too? That'll be something to know. I bet y'all bad mothers. Y'all won't even FaceTime y'all kids. What about that? Maybe they don't FaceTime the kids. What do you think? But now what Mary talks about is she said that every now and then you'll get one of the kids in the spaceships would want to meet you on Earth, and they'll arrange it, right?
Really?
Yeah, she said that they would take her, and there was some other people that used to come in my room on Clubhouse, and they was talking about she had a bunch of kids too, and that they will let them see. Now, the ones that can pass for humans, they do kind of reimplant them in here, and then the other ones, they don't. And pretty much. She said, I heard that before. What did you hear? Jay says, it's not going to be meditation. It's going to be the state of some people can reach with meditation, but it's also going to be found with EKG type machines for everyone else. Interesting. Interesting enough. She said alien babies. Yeah. You got alien. Well, anybody else in the chat got alien babies? Anybody got alien babies?
Do you?
Who?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
Got what? Alien babies?
Yeah. I mean, this is your work. You know, you're involved with this, and that amplifies, you know, any type of contact.
Here's the deal. I'll be one of those guys, even the aliens will put my ass on child support. Okay. You know how they let the other good dudes don't be on child support. You know, I'll be the one that'll be on alien child support. And number two, the way you describe and the other women describe your encounters and how whatever it is, there is no way as a man I want to meet some cosmic P or interplanetary P or special P. You know,
Special P.
you know what I'm saying? I don't think I would want to meet some of that P. I really don't know. It may be different. It may just swallow my ass up completely. You know, it may be some aggressive stuff. I don't know. I don't think, and so therefore, no, I don't have any galactic babies out there
That you know of.
that I know of. And as long as they ain't calling up talking about, you know, could you imagine Jerry Springer? No, what's that girl? Not Jerry Springer. What's that lady on right now? The judge, and sitting here going to him. All right, Harry. In the case of young me in the moon, 215, you are not the father. He's pissed off. Go get back on this fucking spacecraft. You know what I'm saying? Is that where we heading? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, in the case of little alien with 16 arms, by mother, me, and the moon.
That's
you
an
know,
insect.
Well, whatever, right? Oh, the centaur. He does have your features. He does look like a praying mantis. The baby, look at him. You know, it's that conversation. He got your eyes.
And then he speaks, and he sounds just like you.
he yeah, right. And he got your mama's bonnet. He got your mom's bonnet head. You know what I'm saying? Big ass head for a bonnet. That's cool. But, you know what I'm saying? But judging by the DNA from diagnostics of aliens, you're not the father. You know. You know what I'm saying? And we may be heading that way. We may be heading to a point
where people will find out that they have multiple ohana, multiple families, and intergalactic.
Rainbow Light says, I have a extraterrestrial family and they don't like to be called aliens. That's cool. We can call it as ETs then, whatever it is, but damn, you know. I don't know about all that. I don't know. I think it's something crazy, but that's how it works. That's how y'all do it. I have no clue. Now, she said big head Bonnet. She's about to go to bed earlier, but she got to go find a bonnet size enough. But y'all funny. Y'all are really funny. Well,
your show is a lot of fun.
You know what? I'm just doing a few things. You know, it's no. You know, Laura said if the bonnet don't fit, if it don't fit, it ain't his baby. You're right. It's like all kind of stuff too. I don't know. I play in on that, but that's where we're going. She said allegedly. Damon said allegedly Palladians look just like us. Different.
They do. They do. But the only thing, like the bridge of their nose is different. It's like wider. Like the features are just a little off.
Okay. Interesting.
A lot of them seem to be very good looking, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, that's interesting enough, once you think about it. And pretty much. I get it. Really get it. Yeah, that's interesting enough. All right. So she said it's a comparison to things. All right. Okay. Well, hey, if y'all having any fun tonight, if I made you laugh, y'all can, if you didn't go get my ebook, let me put it back up real quick. Get the ebook. I don't even know what a slide is now. Right there. And there's one about regression if you haven't got that. But get your ebook. I didn't write it, but you can get you some information, roderickmartin.com. And we can pretty much do that. And y'all can. If not, you could support the show through the Cash App or anything other than, and pretty much. All right, Rita, I'm gonna let you close the show out tonight. Pretend you the host and you want to close out the show. Let's go.
Oh. Well, thank you for joining us. It was a fun show. It's always some interesting things to talk about and learn. And please purchase his book. It's very informative. And keep coming back. Things are only going to get bigger and better. And with a lot more guests that come on that will be speaking the truth, and we're all in this together and we're all connected. So let's keep it going.
All right. Appreciate it. So you guys, y'all heard it right there. Now it says Earth. Do you do any training or something for people or what?
What was that?
Your Earth, what is that? Earth
Shamanka warriors. Oh, yeah. I do shamanism mixed in with my Reiki. Like I do.
Oh, you have a website?
I do. Rita, theseedingreiki.com.
Put it in the chat so they can have it.
Sure. Like I got a new client that I have to work on this week. She believes she's possessed, but
Damn.
It might just be. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of that. People feeling that they're possessed with some type of entity. Like one guy had gotten a book from Thailand, an old book, because he wants to write about bare knuckle boxing, and he had this thing on him, and it came to me and tried to negotiate him for my dog. And I was like, absolutely not. But then come to find out, he felt threatened that I was in the picture, that I was going to banish him to wherever. And I just, found out that He just was threatened. And he needed to go back to where he came from, though.
Well, I don't see your link in the chat. Did you put it in here?
I could have sworn he did.
Yeah. Maybe there's a delay. I don't know. Don, I'm putting my email address here. So you can have it here. Yeah, maybe a delay. I think they're behind a few moments when we're talking and stuff. But Don Mega, that's the email address right there. It's in the chat. Yeah, I don't see your stuff.
I'm doing it on my phone. Maybe I have to do it through here.
Yeah. Go in peace. Let's put our bonnets to sleep, ladies. Yeah. Like it's going to be a foundation on the bed tonight. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here and we'll see you next time. Okay. Tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow. So we're going to do the missing after I load up the forbidden knowledge one, and then we'll talk about it tomorrow. And we're going to do a show tomorrow. So.
Oh, excellent.
All right. So take care. I'll talk to you soon.
You too. Thank you.
Bye, why did Ruby shoot Oswald? Was there a conspiracy?
In a world shrouded in darkness and obscured by deception from the big secret keepers, a burning question ignites in the hearts and minds of truth seekers. Why? Let's dive into the abyss of the unknown